17-year-old Archie Gray, the son of Andy Gray, the former Leeds striker, and the great-nephew of the legendary Eddie Gray, makes his debut today at the heart of the Leeds midfield alongside Ethan Ampadu, who has finally found a home after various loan spells across Europe. Only 3 of this Leeds side started their final game in the Premier League against Tottenham 10 weeks ago. The side is Meslier in goal, Ayling, Cooper, Strike and Held at the back 4, Ampadu and Gray in midfield, James and Sinisterra in the wide areas, Somerville and Nonto are the players in attack. Aaron Ramsey is one of 5 debutants in the Cardiff City team. They're currently under a transfer embargo, so it's only free transfers or loans for them. Anik in goal, and G, McGuinness, Gutas and O'Dowd at the back 4. Wintle, Rawls and Ramsey in midfield. Bowler, Grant and Ugbo in attack. And you talk about Archie Gray, Ethan Ampadu, it's another player who needs a good season, who needs to put down some roots.
Yeah, he needs a home, because again I was commentating on the game and this young lad came on, his hair was different, and he was against Nottingham Forest at Chelsea, and the first thing he did was put in this crunching tackle, and you heard about him, and again there's this name, and then he hasn't really got going for him. So he's still a good age, and he's been around, but now he's got a home at a huge club. So if he can do well here, get the platform, then he can go on and have the career that everyone believes. So I think again, he's going to be there. He's going to have to get on second balls, have to be enforced so he can pass as well, but then and help young Archie Gray alongside him. But Ampadu, a really good player who could become a massive asset for this side. We've seen what the likes of Calvin Phillips have done from playing for a club like this. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Ampadu as well. Some good players on show, but he's had all this journey. This is your home. Come on now, we're going to show and really make this position your own. And yeah, come and get the platform at a huge club. It's a great place to play.
And there is weak, watery sunshine overhead here at Ellen Road. A sellout for this match. 36,000 here on the opening weekend of the Championship season. And there will be a moment's applause before kick-off to remember Leeds supporters who have passed on since the end of the previous campaign. So both sets of players, Leeds wearing all white, Cardiff City wearing all blue, will gather around the centre circle here, and Josh Smith, our referee, will begin a moment's applause. And a roar of anticipation here at Ellen Road on the opening day of a new season. The disappointments of 10 weeks ago must now be cast aside for Leeds United as they look to bounce back from the first attempt. And they've not done that during their history since the 1930s. 26 teams have bounced back at the first attempt from the Premier League or back into the Premier League. And Leeds United looking to do that here against the Cardiff City team, who will be led by Aaron Ramsey. And it's Aaron Ramsey who gets the new season underway here across the Talksport network, back at Ellen Road in the Championship. Cardiff wearing all blue, attacking the Don Revie stand away to our left-hand side in the first half. A long ball played forward, and it's straight out of play. And it will be fascinating, Matt Murray, to see who's going to play up front for Leeds United, because basically they've got 4 wingers across their forward line.
Yeah, and with no Patrick Bamford, you usually see him as that focal point. Nonto, he's a very talented player, but yeah, and that can sometimes, when you've not got an actual out-and-out striker, for centre halves, that can make it awkward. Who goes into where? Who's picking up who? And but these are some tricky players. They're not going to be able to just lump the ball forward. They have to play the ball along the floor, find little pockets. But at the moment, it does look like Nonto is probably the focal point. But again, this is all the things that the players will have to work out on the pitch as well.
Ampadu wins the ball for Leeds and glides away from Rawls. An impressive first intervention from him. Forward towards Nonto, wearing number 29, on the edge of the penalty area. And back in field to Archie Gray, 17 years of age. A big day for him. It's wide to the far side, but James is quickly closed down by Ng. And Leeds will have a throw-in. And it's threaded through towards the edge of the penalty area and guided back by Gutas towards Jack Annick, who was the backup goalkeeper last season, but a big opportunity for the Cardiff number one here today.
Yeah, big opportunity. He's played a lot of football up in Scotland, and this would be a good opportunity for him with Ryan Allsop being out. How does he do? He's not played as much of the pre-season as Ryan Allsop did, but it's his chance. What was interesting as well was when that build-up was happening for Leeds, how high Ayling was as a fullback. Really high up, like a winger if you like. Then the forward players going inside. So again, that will cause his back four for Cardiff some issues. And talk about Annick in there. He's going to have to organise those players in front of him. Be calm, but he want a nice early, positive touch to settle him down. But at the moment, I think Cardiff will feel that they've just, they've started quite well, quite positively.
Nearly 2 minutes played here on the Talksport network at Ellen Road. Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 0. And we will go our separate ways at half-time. On Talksport, we will begin our build-up to the Community Shield at Wembley. Manchester City against Arsenal, which gets underway at 4 o'clock. On Talksport 2, there will be the second half of this game before Sunderland against Ipswich. The conclusion of our Championship triple-header across the Talksport network today. That gets underway at 5 o'clock. Here is Cooper for Leeds United, a player who predated the Marcelo Bielsa era and one of the players back in the Championship after Leeds' 3-year spell in the Premier League. It's wide to the far side, quickly won back by Carlin Grant, who looks to twist and turn in the end. Josh Bowler is closed down with that blonde hair tied back by an Alice band, and it will be a throw into Cardiff City, 15 yards inside their own half down their right. 3 minutes played here. Leeds 0, Cardiff 0. In the Championship, Leeds must have thought that they were leaving the EFL behind when they strolled into the Premier League so impressively under Bielsa, but now they need to go again. And here is Bowler coming forward for Cardiff City, finding Ramsey, who was challenged by Ayling, but now there's an opportunity for Carlin Grant, but he's flagged offside on this near side, the Cardiff left, and Leeds have the free kick.
So he'll be really disappointed with that bullet, because his team, you can see that they're sitting in. They don't mind sometimes Leeds having the ball. They're setting traps, but then when they get it, they want to get bodies forward with quality. They've got a lot of blue shirts forward. Grant can see along the line. He shouldn't be offside there. And all those bodies forward, looking like a good counter, promising counter-attacking position. And now ball back to Leeds, drop back in, and have to be patient again. But they're definitely playing like a sort of low organised block, looking to set the right triggers. But that was again, you can definitely see already how this game plan is looking for Cardiff.
Both these clubs had 4 coaches, including caretakers, last season. Daniel Farker now in charge of Leeds United, won the Championship at this level with Norwich in his previous 2 seasons at this division. And Errol Bullitt is the new man in charge of Cardiff City. All of his previous coaching experience has come in his home country of Turkey, as Ayling comes forward now for Leeds on this near side. Looks to thread the ball in field towards Gray, but it's quickly cut out by Ramsey and played forward by O'Dowda. And now Rawls wide to this near side, brought down by Grant, but Ayling comes back to make the challenge, and it's threaded all the way back to Ilya Meslier. And are you slightly surprised that Meslier is still here?
Yeah, I think that, obviously he came out of the team towards the end last season, but you saw how well he did all right in the lockdown times. I remember watching him play against Cardiff, away at Cardiff, and Leeds went up and got promoted, and then he did so well. He was good in possession. I still feel like I'd love to, my goalkeeper coaching head on, get hold of someone like him. I think he could be top, but yeah, I'm surprised someone at his age, of his games, hasn't come for him. And then the fact that he has stayed from what they spent on Darlow, I thought Darlow might be starting this afternoon, but maybe Mezier's had a good pre-season.
Carl Darlow cost £400,000 signing from Newcastle, but he is on the bench, and Meslier has been given the nod by Daniel Farker. But we will see what happens between now and the end of the transfer window, and particularly in the Championship, you often find that teams have a good deal of shuffling over the next 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, definitely, and if they command pretty good money for Meslier, and they'd one of them maybe invest that higher up the pitch. And Cardalo's a fantastic goalkeeper, he's a Premier League proven goalkeeper, so very good at this level, did well on loan at Hull. But yeah, I think there will still be a lot of changes, and probably all these managers just want the window to shut. Sure, let us do our stuff and get on with it. But it's what we love though as well, isn't it? The entertainment, the excitement.
6 minutes played here at Ellen Road on the Talksport network. Leeds 0, Cardiff 0. Leeds wearing all white, looking to build with Cooper on the far side. Quickly infield again towards the edge of the penalty area. And Leo Hjelde, big day for him, his full debut in the Leeds United team. Only 19 years of age, a Norwegian under-21 international. And he was on loan at Rotherham last season, helped them to safety. What Leeds will hope is the other end of the Championship compared to where they may find themselves this season. Now Gray again, finding Ampadu, who plays a good ball wide to this near side, and Ayling quickly forward towards Nonto on the edge of the penalty area. It spins back into the Italian's path, and now Ayling on the overlap, but he's just blocked off by O'Dowda, and O'Dowda's done well to shepherd the ball behind for a goal kick. Callum O'Dowda has spent much of his career racing forward towards the other end, but employed as a left back here today.
Yeah, again, when I saw the team sheet and I saw how Cardiff was setting up, again it shows the injuries, because he's not a natural left back. He's done well there, but these are all the challenges you want to see, because he's naturally got an attacking mindset, but he did well to get his body in, switched on with Ayling, because these fullbacks are playing high for Leeds. But yeah, good from O'Dowda.
Poor ball out from Coventry, from Cardiff rather, cut out by Ampadu. Coventry losing today at Leicester by 2-1 in our first commentary game. And they led that game in the second half for a long time before 2 late goals from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Now Somerville for Leeds, midway inside the Cardiff half. And it's played wide to the far side. And Hjelde again. Sinistera is involved, and James will cut in field. The Welsh international playing against the team from South Wales. But now Ramsey looks to bring the ball forward for Cardiff, but he's given the ball away. James looks to head back towards the Cardiff penalty area. It's cut out by Wintle. It's all very scrappy. And then there's a heavy challenge on Ramsey on the far side. And Ramsey has gone down, clutching his right knee. And there was an intake of breath from all of the Cardiff City fans away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, it was a heavy challenge. And what's noticeable again from Leeds is, and this is a thing we've seen a lot with Leeds and Daniel Farke's sides when he's coached before, the counter press. So they're losing it, but they're regaining, because they've got so many bodies there. So the amount of times that Cardiff had a bit, lost it, Leeds won it back, then they lost it, but Leeds were swarming, nearest man to the ball, really, really pressing. Ramsey, thankfully he's up, he's fine, but I also think he's just shown a little bit of experience there and thought, let's give my team a bit of a breather there. So no booking, no anything like that. It's a strong challenge, but yeah, I'm not surprised Jack Hannick has kicked that ball up the pitch, because they've tried to play a couple of times and Leeds were just on them. So good goalkeeping, and they just need to take the sting out of it there, Cardiff.
Yeah, it was Hjelde who came in with the challenge, and there was just a word for the young Norwegian from Josh Smith, the referee here. 9 minutes played, 0-0 as Cardiff come forward again. Joe Rawls with a driving run up towards the edge of the penalty area. Has Grant in space to his left, but the ball forward to him is just cut out. But O'Dowda wins it back, and now Wintle, who's recently signed a new contract, plays it wide to the far side. And Njie. Ramsey demanding the ball, but again he's given the ball away midway inside the Leeds half. It was cut out by Ampadu, and Nonto quickly plays it wide to Crescencio Somerville, who tries to arc the ball wide towards the far side. Somerville now wearing the Leeds number 10 shirt, but it's all the way back towards Jack Hannick once again. And Ramsey with 1 or 2 misplaced passes in the opening 10 minutes here.
Yeah, he just got caught on it, and he's getting on the ball now in that pocket, and that's much better from him. But yeah, it was interesting that, you know, that's a bit you would expect him still to do, look after the ball better.
Ugbo wide towards Grant on the left. The high cross into the penalty area. Hjelde heads the ball away under pressure from Bowler, and then a very unnecessary shove on James from Wintle at the far post, and it will be a free kick to Leeds.
And I think there have been a few moments there. So when Somerville got the ball, I think he'll be disappointed he didn't make that pass. It was a really good opportunity when Ramsey lost the ball, and then there you say, Wintle, why? You don't need to foul. Just give him now, relieve the pressure again. But good bit of open play there, but needless foul in the end from Cardiff.
10 minutes played, no goals here, but there has been a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in that pre-season friendly. Ian Abrahams.
Spurs 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 0, and if Harry Kane is to leave, and this is his final appearance at home, he scored from the spot, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, and it was a really good penalty as well by Harry Kane. So he scored on what could be his last appearance here for Spurs. Tottenham 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 0.
Thanks, Ian. And a reminder, the best place to follow the football today and every week of the season is on the Talksport app. Particularly today, we have the first half of this game available on both Talksport and Talksport 2. But if you go to the app or ask your smart speaker to play Talksport 2, we will have the second half from Ellen Road as well, as it's shepherded back by Gutas towards Anik. On Talksport, at half-time in this game, we will begin our build-up to the Community Shield at Wembley. Adrian Durham leading our side at the National Stadium as it's swept forward by Ramsey up towards the halfway line. Cooper is challenged by Ugbo, but it's won back well by Ampadu, who's been very busy in the early stages here. And now Leeds will look to bring it forward with Strike. Wide towards this near side there, right. And Ayling. And now Strike again. And if Cardiff were looking to quieten down the crowd in the early stages, then they've done a very good job of that.
Yeah, they have. They've been organised as sliding, because when the fullbacks are so high and the players coming in the pockets, it can be any bit of miscommunication, any gaps, and then suddenly people are in the pockets. So, yeah, at the moment they've frustrated them, which has been a good, I say it's part of the game plan for sure, and they've done well with that.
Wins for the two other relegated sides from the Premier League last season already this weekend. Live on Talksport with Southampton winning very late on at Sheffield Wednesday, and of course a late winner for Leicester against Coventry earlier on today. But if you're looking to get some sort of momentum after that disappointment, it's very important to win your opening game.
And I think that will weigh on this Leeds team. They will look at that. They'll know that those other two teams, they'll know they'll be up there with the favourites. But for these sides that have come up, they're such big clubs. People will raise their game coming here. They'll run that bit harder. They'll do that bit more. And they'll want to frustrate. So it is a big pressure, but it's something you have to live for, rise to if you're going to play and wear this all white for Leeds United. But I do feel that the fact that those other two teams have started so well is, will just be in the subconscious of these Leeds players.
Long way to go, of course, as Ugbo was challenged on the halfway line, but Cardiff retained possession. Grant, though, losing out to Hjelde. Quickly forward from Somerville, looking for the pace of Nonto, but it was overhit, and it's gathered by Jack Anik once again.
Yeah, good positioning there from the goalkeeper. And I thought the other one, when Gutas was in, Jack Anik stayed out of it well, because they're ones when you're not used to the defender relationship. Something, how many times you see goalkeepers get dragged into it. So again, good starting position. Oh, Ramsey, he's coming very deep, isn't he? And getting the ball and taking risks.
He is, and at the moment Leeds United have been crunching into him on a couple of occasions, but there is a danger as well that if they do step off for a second, he does have the ability to play that ball in.
Yeah, as much as he's in the twilight of his career, he's been earmarked. Yeah, he's a danger man. So yeah, don't give him time. So again, that's part of Leeds' press. And Ramsey at the moment, and they're always looking for him, aren't they, the Cardiff players, trying to find him for that out ball.
14 minutes played, 0-0. And G with a high ball over the top now. Carlin Grant on loan from West Bromwich Albion will chase, but he's just blocked off by Ayling, and it's gathered by Meslier once again. 14 minutes played here at Ellen Road. It is Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 0, and Cardiff usually do well here. They've only lost one of their previous 12 visits, winning 7 of them. And Leeds' last defeat in the Championship came against Cardiff in South Wales at the start of Project Restart back in June of 2020, but Leeds did win 12 of their final 14 games and won the title convincingly. Here is Gray again, looks to thread it forward, flicked on impudently by Nonto, and now Somerville breaking towards the area, finding Nonto again. He's driven wide, but the shot is blocked and scrambled clear. Ayling regathers for Leeds, back towards Gray. Gray fires in the low shot, O'Dowda's in the way, Gray again, O'Dowda is there a second time, and it's hooked clear by Bowler up towards the halfway line.
Oh, that was a first real chance, but that ball through, punched through between the lines. It was an eye of the needle ball, but really well dealt with by Somerville. Good running from Nonto, that's what he wants to play on the shoulder, but credit Cardiff to get the bodies back, get the blocks in, but listen to that home crowd now, that's what they wanted that lift. And but good defending in the end, really good. I call it Rambo defending, getting back, but then a few other blocks, but the recovery runs are excellent, but good play from Leeds United.
I thought Rambo was Aaron Ramsey's nickname.
Yeah, true.
But Archie Gray with that ball forward, only 17 years of age, but a very upright runner, and already we can see he is somebody who's always playing with his head up, which is a very good sign at such a tender age.
Yeah, seeing those pictures.
Ayling with the ball into the penalty, and Nonto with the volley, and Anik was nowhere there, but it was inches wide.
Oh, brilliant play, and now this crowd, they're sensing it, and I know that they're wanting the clock to be speeded up, but I'm not surprised Jack Anik in that goal is just going for a little drink, calming it down, because that, again, really good play. Ball into Ayling, he's the outlet, he's high, nods the ball on. Nonto had timed his run to perfection. Gutas is thinking, whoa, please don't score, because Nonto got the run on him, did everything right. The ball sit up, it's a difficult skill, and hits it just across, past the far post, but really, really good play from Leeds United. Another day that goes in the top corner, but it's so hard to defend against. Good play, they've upped the tempo here. Again, a lucky escape for Cardiff.
Now O'Dowda coming forward for Cardiff over the halfway line. 16 minutes played here on the Talksport network. It is Leeds 0, Cardiff 0. And if you download the Talksport app, you can swipe between our two stations today. The second half of this game will be available over on Talksport 2. Talksport will have the build-up to the Community Shield, which begins at 4 o'clock. Adrian Durham there alongside Ian Danta and Stuart Pearce for Manchester City against Arsenal. But Wilfred Nonto was one of the few positives for Leeds the longer the season went on last season, and you just feel he's the sort of player who could really thrive in the Championship if he's given the sort of service, because he makes the runs which defenders at this level might not be able to appreciate.
He's so sharp, so quick, yeah, his movement's really intelligent. But
James now in towards Nonto again, who tries to play it back to the overlapping James, but Sinisterra gathers for Leeds. On the left-hand side, he's found James in space, low ball into the 6-yard area. The clearance from O'Dowda actually strikes his teammate Gutas, but Cardiff City got the bounce of the ball there, but they're under pressure again with Gray on this near side. Good run in between Grant and O'Dowda, but he comes in field and he steps into Aaron Ramsey, wins it back and then gives the ball away to Somerville deep inside the penalty area. Ramsey comes in with a challenge. Nonto back towards Somerville, but the shot towards the near post is blocked by Gutas, and it spins behind for the game's first corner.
oh wow, again, listen to that. Was it Gutas, was it McGuinness? I'm not sure who, because he's not given a corner. I thought it was a corner, that, with the challenge, but he's given a goal kick. So then, is that Nonto who's down, or Somerville? Somerville's down.
But it was Ramsey again who was wayward in possession.
Got caught. He hasn't got the time. They're pressing him. But we talked about O'Dowda being a winger, but again, I know he got a little bit lucky with the clearance, but his positioning was brilliant, because that was good play down the Leeds left. Pulled the ball across, and what they always say is, remember, you're protecting that big rectangle. That goal is what you're protecting. O'Dowda tucked in well, good positioning, get the clearance in, but more pressure from Leeds United, and if they get a goal, this place is going to erupt, and then you feel it's going to really open up. But at the moment, Cardiff are living very dangerously, and Gray again, that lovely bit of skill, looks so comfortable on the ball.
Well, you can see why Daniel Farker has put him straight into the first team after watching him in pre-season, because he and Ampadu could be a very good balance, because if he's getting forward, it gives Ampadu the ability just to sit and try and break things up, which is maybe the best side of his game.
Yeah, I think they're complementing each other well, and how many times have you he's picked up on the second balls, Ampadu. He's there, isn't he? He's picking up those pieces. Gray's always checking his wing mirrors, looking over his shoulder, wanting that ball. Ampadu on the ball now as well, and they're helping Leeds build from the back. But Gray, young man, 17, out on Island Road, he's demanding that ball. He's ghosting past people as well. I think Leeds now are just starting to turn the screw, and I feel Cardiff maybe need to try and apply a bit more pressure.
Well, Archie Gray is part of the Leeds United football heritage, or his family are, but at the moment he is dealing with that pressure very well indeed. Here is Strike for Leeds, wide to this near side, and Ampadu finding Nonto down the right, back towards Ampadu again. It's Ramsey, his fellow Welsh international teammate, who slides in with the challenge, and now O'Dowda will clip the ball down the line for Cardiff. It almost breaks to Ramsey. Ramsey with a block challenge then on Gray, and it releases Ugbo on this near side, finding Ramsey again in space, left-hand side of the penalty area, all alone now. Shelder's come all the way across to deal with him. Ramsey tries to poke it in field towards Grant, but it's cut out by Ayling, and Leeds United should be able to clear. Here is Nonto, but O'Dowda comes in with a very early challenge, and Rawls missed kicks, and it's all very scrappy. And in the end, Ampadu hacks it straight out of play, and Cardiff have a throw-in. It is half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here's Ian Abrahams, rather.
Spurs 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 0. Harry Kane on 38 minutes from the spot put Spurs ahead. Could be his only goal this afternoon. I think he's coming off at half-time. And Kevin Kelsey headed Shakhtar's equaliser right on half-time. Tottenham 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 1.
I don't know who should be more offended. Here is Gutas now for Cardiff. Back towards the halfway line. And McGuinness. And now Gutas again, who was signed from Turkish football, so he will be familiar to his new coach, as Nonto is challenged by Grant. And Nonto have got the wrong side of Grant. They're on the halfway line, and it will be a free kick for Leeds United.
It's quite a fluid front line, because it looked like Nonto was a focal point for a bit, getting the ball and occupying the two centre-halves. Now he's having a little spell on the right. Somerville's gone through the middle a bit more. So, but I think, all in all, Daniel Farke will be the happier of the two managers. Believe his team should have scored. They haven't actually tested Anik yet, have they? They've got into good positions. Look like they're going to see the whites of his eyes, but not actually work that Cardiff goalkeeper. But I just feel that the patterns of play, and we saw Norwich do this as well when he was manager.
Now Bowler has it for Cardiff on the far side. 0-0 here with 22 minutes played on the Talksport network. With the second half of this game, and then Sunderland against Ipswich available on Talksport 2, and it will be the Community Shield live from Wembley. Arsenal against Manchester City on Talksport. O'Dowda now released by Rawls for Cardiff down the left-hand side. 2-8 for the pullback. It's back to Bowler with the shot. Blocked by Ampadu. Bowler again, and he scored. Josh Bowler with a debut goal for Cardiff City. His first shot was blocked, but he was calmness personified to stroke in the rebound, and Alan Road has been silenced. It is Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 1.
Well, you talk about the game plan, about being organised, but then you had to counter-attack with quality. When they got the ball forward before, Grant was offside. This time, Dowda has been absolutely brilliant. He's defended well, but now he's shown that attacking quality, because he got there and you saw he knew he had time, and he looked up and he didn't panic, because a lot of people have tried to fizz that ball right across goal. Leeds have blocked that off. He pulled the ball back, first effort blocked, but then the composure from Bowler when it came back to him to fire it in the corner. Meze stands no chance. I was just saying how happy Farke would have been with his start. Now let's see how his team reacts. So really, really good goal. Well worked from Cardiff's point of view. And yeah, it's all about how you react now, and listen to these Leeds fans. Because they have been silenced, haven't they? Can they get back behind their team? Good goal from Cardiff.
Well, Josh Bowler, on loan from Nottingham Forest. His previous goal was against Cardiff for Blackpool back in April, and he scored a debut goal for the Bluebirds here today. Cardiff's first shot, and they lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, first shot on target. And Leeds, to be fair to them, they work every time they've lost the ball. They've worked hard. They got loads of white shirts back, but they all dropped in. They marked the space. They didn't take the man. Clever movement from Bowler, but I thought the pick out from Dowda was excellent. A little bit of fortune when it comes back to him, but then no mistake, real composure, just to pass the ball home. So yeah, now they'll have to keep defending resolutely again.
Leeds 0, Cardiff 1 on the Talksport network. 24 minutes played here at Ellen Road. Leeds have been offering all of the pressure, all of the problems, but it's Cardiff who have scored on the breakaway. But Leeds here looking for the quick response. Nonto on the edge of the penalty area, but the shot was deflected. But good refereeing from Josh Smith, because he's brought play back for an earlier foul on Sinistera, and it will be a Leeds free kick left of centre just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, really good refereeing there. I think that's good. Let the advantage happen and then think, no, I've got to bring it back. It's a free kick in a very, very dangerous position now. There's a few players over it, and Anik will want to just line his wall up. He's got to be brave, protect his side of the goal. But what a response this could be from Leeds United. But they do, when they get the ball, Leeds, they drive at that Cardiff defence. They commit players. But who do you think's going to take this? Somerville maybe? There's a few players over the ball.
Well, Gray is expressing an interest, the 17-year-old, but it would seem to suit Somerville with the right foot. Hasn't scored since before the World Cup. Had a good start to the season, scored that winner for Leeds at Liverpool when they were in a very different place, literally. Somerville steps up, curls it right-footed, and the wall does its job. It pings off the head of McGuinness, and it's a throw-in for Leeds on the far side. 25 minutes played here on the Talksport network, and it's Leeds 0, Cardiff 1.
I'll be disappointed with that, because I think it's a lovely distance, 2 or 3 yards outside the box, just off centre, and to fire it straight into the wall, I think that's poor from a player of his quality.
Ampadu finding Nonto just outside the Cardiff penalty area. Ramsey, though, who is beginning to find his feet, makes the challenge, and here is Bowler on the far side, on towards Ugbo. Ramsey now in the centre forward position, but it's Hjelde who comes across to make the challenge, and the final touch was off Ugbo, I think, and there are players from both sides down on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area. Nonto is one of them, but he's now back on his feet, the Leeds player, and play will be halted here for some treatment. I think Joe Rawls is the other one.
And again, I think he went down a little bit in the build-up just before the free kick that was fired into the wall. Rawls is an important player in a game like this, because he's very good on the ball, he's good at set pieces as well, and he'll use the ball, he'll give them that platform midfield. But I think this will suit Cardiff a bit now, just to let them get some fluid into them, just take a bit of a sting out of things, because it's, all in all, they have been very, very good. They've been organised, they've looked to counter-attack, they've got a real quality goal. But Leeds United, I'm surprised they've not come over. I thought they might be coming over to have a chat with the manager and get some instructions in, but I think Rawls should be okay. A little bit of a sore one. Nonto, he's back on his feet as well. I think he just took a little bit of a kick on his foot, but he's looked lively. When we talk about windows closing and how good he'll be in the Championship, surely a few Premier League teams are having a good sniff at him. I really liked him last season.
And again, he does offer value at such a tender age, only 19 years of age. And the treatment continuing here for Joe Rawls. A reminder, on Monday evenings you can tune in to Talksport 2's dedicated EFL review show. Hugh Wozencroft and Sam Parkin will bring you an in-depth look at all the stories in the Football League from the week gone by. EFL All Access from 7 p.m. tomorrow evening on Talksport 2, and also available as a podcast. And if you download the Talksport app, you can get all of our programmes, either live commentaries or the podcast as well. And I think Joe Rawls may have a problem here, and Cardiff may have to make a change.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying. Is that Rinomota that they're speaking to down there on the touchline? And Rawls is their captain as well. He's such a influential player. Every time I've seen Cardiff City, he's been the main man. So this could be a big blow for Bullock to lose him now. He'll do all he can to get back out there, but it doesn't look good.
Bowler in pursuit again on the far side, and he was goal side there of Ampadu. A mistake by Leeds, but his first touch just betrayed him, and it bobbled into the arms of Meslier, and very quickly he put his hands to his head because he knew that was a great chance.
What an opportunity. Chase a lost cause. You're thinking Strike is just well in control there. He slips, and then Bowler, if he takes a good touch, he's in one-on-one. Yes, it's a tight angle, but it totally overruns it, and lucky escape for Leeds there with that slip from Strike. So for Josh Bowler, we saw how composed he was with the goal. I think he just got a bit excited there and overran it.
In fact, it will be Ebu Adams who is coming on. Ex-Forest Green, signed last season but never played due to injuries. Gambian international. And I suppose he's maybe more like for like than Rinomota at the heart of midfield for Joe Rawls, who has gone down again, and this will, I think, preclude the change.
Yeah, so my good friend had Ebu Adams at Forest Green and really raved about him. He left on a free, as you say, came here last year, didn't kick a ball, but he's a good, gets around the pitch well in that midfield. He can use the ball well, so big game for him. But I wonder how much extra time we're going to get after this, at half time.
Well, Adams will be coming on to replace Rawls. 29 minutes played here. It's Leeds 0, Cardiff 1. Coming up at 4 o'clock on Talksport, we have the Community Shield, Arsenal against Manchester City. Let's get the team news and say good afternoon to Ian Dancer.
Afternoon, Nigel. Here are the lineups. Arsenal have Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Timber across the back. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard in midfield. Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz and Gabriel Martinelli in their front three. For Manchester City, Stefan Ortega in goal. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Dias and Manuel Akanji in their back four. Bernardo Silva, Rodri and Mateo Kovacic in midfield. Erling Haaland flanked by Julian Alvarez and Jack Grealish in attack. We kick off at 4, live on Talksport here at Wembley. Arsenal against Manchester City.
And the build-up to that game with Adrian Durham will start at half-time here The remainder of this game will be available on Talksport 2. Download the Talksport app or ask your smart speaker to play Talksport 2 as a long ball is played forward again for Cardiff, and just the first grumbling of discontent from the Leeds fans here.
Yeah, I don't know if some of it's frustration as well because they feel Cardiff are trying to slow the game down, break it up, but with the new regulations, it's probably going to end up with a good, 6-8 minutes, do you think, of stoppage time? But yeah, they are getting frustrated, and that's all, again, part of the game plan. You knew what it was like when you came as a team like this. You want to frustrate the home fans, and now they've got the goal as well. It's going to make it even more difficult for Leeds.
Well, they had 9 minutes of added time at the end of the Leicester game today as Leeds come forward now, but the shot is fired in from Dan James on the edge of the penalty area, right-footed, high and wide.
I don't think that's the right decision. Obviously it isn't when it screams over the bar, but I just think again they get onto the second balls, they pick it up, but Ayling's just on the outside here, and Somerville could then feed it into Ayling who would have been in, and you've seen him score from that range, and just think it's a rush of blood there from Dan James. So yeah, disappointing again. Leeds are getting in good areas but still have not worked Jack Hannock in that Cardiff goal.
As Ampadu loops a high header back towards Meslier. England's women back in action at the World Cup tomorrow in the round of 16 against Nigeria. Commentary on that game on Talksport 2 with Joe Shannon and Leanne Sanderson. And the USA, the favourites, knocked out today by Sweden on penalties. Sweden often do them in big competitions and have done again. Netherlands also beating South Africa by 2-0. But it means that the competition is really opening up for England with so many big names going out early on. And we'll see how they do against Nigeria tomorrow morning on Talksport 2. As Cooper brings it forward now for Leeds, wide to the far side, and James again has Sinisterra in support, and Bowler is back to help out, and Sinisterra takes over but gives the ball away, and Bowler, the goal scorer for Cardiff, brings it clear infield towards Ugbo. Complete miss kick from him, and as a result Ampadu has it now for Leeds. Gray forward towards Nonto, quickly challenged on the edge of the penalty area by O'Dowda, but Leeds have it back, and now Gray looking to work his way through. Ramsey comes in with the challenge, and O'Dowda will have the opportunity to clear. And at the moment Cardiff City are boxing very clever.
Yeah, they're really well organised. There's no gaps, the distances between the units are good, the distances between the individuals are good, and they're picking out the right times when to press, when to sit in, and at the moment they really are, I think the word would say, frustrating Leeds United.
And now Ampadu wide to this near side again, and Ayling, he's got support from Somerville, laid back towards Gray, and Ampadu takes over again. He's seen plenty of the ball for Leeds, but in fairly deep areas. Now Gray clips it towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for Somerville, but Ebu Adams, who has come on for Joe Rawls, cuts it out, and here is Ampadu again, wide to the far side, and Daniel James, who will try and take on Ng for pace deep into the penalty area, then stumbles, goes down, and the final touch was off Ng, and Leeds have a corner.
It's good defending again though, because when Daniel James runs at players, it's difficult for defenders backing off into their own box, but I thought Ng stuck to his task well, showed the player outside and made the challenge at the right time, and now it's going to be another set piece that Leeds have going to whip in. They've got some big players, they'll whip it in with quality, but I think Cardiff have defended very, very well.
Archie Gray will take the corner on the far side, scuffed in towards the near post, flicked on by Sinisterra, and the final touch was off Ugbo, and it will be another corner kick to Leeds here. But since the goal scored by Josh Bowler, Leeds have rather been rocked back.
I think they've tried to force things a little. Yeah, they've got into areas, tried to force passes through, but again, because of Cardiff's good organisation and work rate. What's going on in the middle here?
Well, the referee, Josh Smith, is just pulling a couple of players towards him. There was a good deal going on there.
Gutas and Cooper?
Ng was also involved on the edge of the 6-yard area. And of course there is no VAR, so the question is, how much did the referee see? He's pulled Cooper towards him. Aaron Ramsey now has the armband for Cardiff with Joe Rawls not on the field. And in fact, it was basically the two captains he spoke to along with Gutas.
Yeah, and now they're straight back at it again.
Gray with a deeper corner this time, fisted clear by Anik, and it spins high towards this near side. Grant unable to keep the ball in play, but neither is James, and you can hear the cheers of the Cardiff City fans away to our right as the ball spins off the Welsh international for a throw into Cardiff, who lead here at Ellen Road with 9 minutes to play in the first half by a goal to nil.
Yeah, they were really clinical when they got the opportunity. They took it well. They had that other glimpse as well when not long after they'd scored, when Bowler latched onto the strike slip. And as much as Leeds have had territory, they have possession, they got in good positions, I can't think of a shot on target. They haven't had an actual shot on target that Anik's had to save. So, and I just feel since the goal they have forced things a little. The crowd have gone a little bit edgy, and this is all playing into Cardiff's hands.
And Carlin Grant sends Luke Ayling sprawling, so Leeds have another free kick, but you can sense the anxiety from the crowd at the moment is being transmitted to the Leeds players as Strike looks to bring it forward, but it's another poor ball. But Gray does well to turn and poke the ball forward, but it's cut out by McGuinness. But here is space and time for Sinisterra on towards Nonto on the edge of the penalty area, and now Somerville with the shot turned aside by Anik, and that's a really good save after the first real combination play we've seen from the Leeds strikers.
Yeah, good bit of play, and Gray did well because the ball wasn't quite right for him, but he stretched, and that then meant that Cardiff were a little bit out of sync, and again 1-2 touch passing, that's curling round. I think Jack Anik, he's good distance off his line, he's moved his feet well. Good save from the Cardiff goalkeeper.
Third Leeds corner. Gray with another one from the right, and again it's a low scuffed effort, flicked away at the near post. Now Ampadu has time to assess his options, and he plays it forward to Nonto. It looked a great ball, but Nonto was offside, and it will be a free kick.
Again, well organised by Cardiff. They've stepped up together as a unit. They played him offside. Good disguise on the pass from Ampadu. He's seen Nonto in there, but good defending from Cardiff. But I felt that the link-up play for that Somerville shot was really good, wasn't it? Good little bit of combination, one-touch play around the edge of the box. And that's what you have to do. If you are going to try and disrupt, try and penetrate a well-organised, compact defence, sometimes you've got to play with that quick, sharp play. And that was like Premier League quality, wasn't it? But good goalkeeping. So Anik, I think, has had a good minute or so. Good punch, good save. Little warning for Cardiff, but looks like they might have weathered that storm.
38 minutes played here on the Talksport network. It is Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 1. Josh Bowler, who was on the ball now, down the Cardiff right, scoring the only goal, and he's worked a 1-2 with Wintle, and he breaks into the penalty area. Here is Ramsey with a right-footed shot. It's deflected across the face of goal, and it's turned in by Ugbo, and Cardiff City lead by 2-0. And Leeds United, who have offered all the pressure, have been hit by 2 sucker punches here on their return to the Championship. Aaron Ramsey involved this time. His shot squirted across the face of goal, and Ugbo was there to apply the finish. And Leeds, after relegation from the Premier League, trail a side who almost went down to League One by 2-0.
We talk about intricate play and getting bodies in the box and quality, and having Premier League quality. Well, I think that Bowler has done really well. Good little give and go, follows his run. But Ramsey, he said it before, if he can keep him fit, get it on the pitch, he can do things to twist and turn and get that shot across goal. And if it wasn't Ugbo, I think it was going to be Grant who would have tapped it home. But really, really good play from Cardiff, and that is executing your game plan. You organise, you defend set pieces, but when you get bodies forward, you have to show quality, composure. 2-0. Wow, what a test here for Leeds United. I don't think anyone saw this, the first half going like this, but brilliant from Cardiff City. They've been top draw, but no one ever thought it was going to be easy for Leeds, and this has certainly showed them how difficult this championship is.
Well, I'm not sure Cardiff have been top draw all over the field, but they've just picked them off, haven't they?
Yeah, just suddenly those bits of quality, composure, the right, but they're getting bodies in there as well. How many blue shirts are in there? The gives and goes, and you've got Ramsey joining in, Ugbo, Grant at the back post. They're getting bodies into the area at the right time. Really, really good.
Well, Leeds have had 67% possession, 8 shots, only 1 on target. Cardiff have had 2 shots, and they've both gone in.
Crazy.
Well, that's life in the Championship.
Yeah, and that's what. But they're going to have to get used to this, because a lot of teams are going to come to Ellen Road, and rightly so, and set up in this way and be organised and then look to counter-attack, and it's up to Leeds United to break them down. And you know, everyone's used to seeing these Leeds teams. I mean, the Bielsa era was one of the most entertaining teams I've ever seen. It was brilliant. But credit Cardiff, this is a really, really effective, a textbook, in my opinion, away performance so far. But there's still a long, long time to go. But now, listen to those fans again when they're just wanting to get that ball quickly. So all this will be lifting these Cardiff players.
Ellen Road can be a great place to play, but if you're 2-0 down in the first half, it can be a horrible place to play.
Yeah, you've got to be very brave, and that's where you need your top players to step up. And, you know, when I was at Wolves, it was a big club in the Championship, and that's where we had the likes of Paul Ince who would help us young boys out.
Now Nonto. Leeds, you feel, need a goal before half-time here. 41 minutes played. They trailed Cardiff by 2-0. Sinisterra again, but he's closed down by Wintle. Sliding in was Ng to almost win the ball back on the edge of the penalty area, but Hjelde now for Leeds. Back towards Cooper. Ampadu takes over. A square ball to strike. Ayling in space down the right-hand side, but Carlin Grant comes across to challenge him. And as a result, Ayling checks back, and you can hear the grumbles from the Leeds fans all around us here. Now Gray. What can the 17-year-old do to maybe try and inspire his team? Looks to win a corner and does.
Intelligent that from Gray, but you heard the groans. But what was Ayling meant to do? Grant had got out to him, done well. He couldn't get the cross in, so you have to start again. But again, these are the frustrations. But I wonder if Gray, because I think his last couple of corners, I don't know if he means to hit him so low, but they haven't come off at all.
Well, he will try again here. An outswinger from the right-hand side for Leeds. 2 down to Cardiff with 3 minutes to play here on the Talksport network. Gray's delivery. High to the far post. Cooper nods it back in field. Strike with a header, but it's a good leap from him, but it's low and straight into the arms of Jack Annick.
Yeah, good. A different delivery and good movement from Cooper to head it back across. First contact, Leeds. Second contact, Leeds, but straight into the hands of the Cardiff goalkeeper, because that's what you want. When you're in the attacking side, you want to get that first contact. So it's a better delivery there from Gray, but again, not a serious test for Annick, and he'll pump the ball, 50, 60 yards at the pitch, and they go again.
2 minutes of normal time to play here. Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 2. In Leeds United's first game back in the Championship. And another long ball is played forward looking for Nonto, and once again he is offside. At half-time we will go our separate ways on the Talksport network. On Talksport there will be all of the build-up live from Wembley before the Community Shield with Adrian Durham, Ian Danta and Stuart Pearce. Arsenal against Manchester City, and we will continue our coverage on the home of the EFL. Talksport 2 from Ellen Road here, with the second half of this game followed at 5 o'clock by Sunderland against Ipswich. If you download the Talksport app, you can swipe between the two stations and swipe between the commentaries, and if you've got your smart speaker, you can ask them to play whichever station you require. But at the moment, the message for Leeds has maybe been lost in translation here, because the longer the first half has gone on, the more wayward they've appeared.
They're going to have to mix it up, because I thought early on Nonto was getting some decent bits of joy when he was running off the midfield, getting in behind, but this is when they look like they missed that sort of Bamford sort of player who, you know, to build off, because at the moment Cardiff have dealt with nearly everything thrown at them.
There are injuries. No Bamford, no Harrison, no Adams, no Rutter, who was injured in the final pre-season game against Heart of Midlothian. And of course the games come thick and fast in the Championship, and Leeds will be on the road at Birmingham next week, which in many ways is the 49ers against Tom Brady.
Yes, good. The link there. I watched Birmingham City yesterday. I was at the game against Swansea. Dembele scored a good goal, and I think Birmingham City fans, they feel a lot more optimistic because they've had a few difficult seasons. So with their takeover, they had some good players. It was a very new look Birmingham City side, but yeah, certainly won't get any easier. Won't get any easier at all for Leeds United.
A minimum of 5 added minutes here at Ellen Road in the first half. Leeds trailing Cardiff by 2-0. Ayling coming forward again down the right, low in towards Sinisterra, but he's challenged by Ramsey. But here is strike for Leeds, midway inside the Cardiff half again. Cooper, the last man, is quickly challenged by Ugbo, who then goes down, claiming he was hit by a flailing arm from Cooper, and the referee gives nothing, he just tells him to get up.
Yeah, and I think that seems to be the directive. I know things have been said and letting it flow, and look, he's straight back up, so it's good refereeing. It was the right decision, but Cardiff will be desperate to see this last few minutes out.
We'll be back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a second as Gray plays it down the line for Leeds, but it spins out of play off Adams, and it will be a throw into Leeds. So let's briefly go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Ian Abrahams.
5 gone in the second half. Spurs 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 1. Harry Kane again with a goal, this time a header. Ball crossed on the left-hand side. Kane at the far post, headed home. Spurs and Kane 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 1.
Well, that's interesting. Here is Cooper now for Leeds. Interesting scoreline here as well, with Cardiff City leading at Ellen Road by 2-0. Now James coming forward on the far side. A low cross in is deflected away off Ng, and it will be another Leeds corner. They've had all of the corners, but not really offered a threat from any of them.
Yeah, they got first contact on the last one, was it, from Gray? Apart from that, they've not come to anything, but this could be a huge moment. Leeds score now just before half-time, really changes the game, but at the moment, Cardiff has stood strong with a lot of these balls.
Somerville will take this corner, whipped in, headed away by McGuinness at the near post, knocked back into the penalty area by Hjelde, and it's hoofed away by Ng deep into the Leeds United half, and job done as far as Cardiff are concerned.
Yeah, really good header from McGuinness. And again, Leeds, well, they need to work on a bit more creativity, because say forcing all these corners, not come to much, and can they work a short one? Can they be more inventive? Because again, Cardiff set up well, getting the first contacts, and there's a really good header from Mark McGuinness.
And we've talked about the Leeds injuries. Cardiff have also got a number of significant players missing. Ryan Allsop, their first choice goalkeeper, Romain Sawyers and Ruben Colwill also not involved today, as another long ball is played forward, and Luke Ayling, the right back, is somehow caught offside
Again, and Daniel Farke will be really frustrated, because it's not like it's quick build-up that they're catching them offside. The players should be looking along the line. So from a Cardiff point of view, Errol Bullock will be saying, you're really well organised, you're drilled well, you're making the right decisions, you're communicating. He'll be delighted. But Daniel Farke will be saying, come on, these are just fundamental errors that shouldn't be happening, that keep relieving the pressure.
Hundreds of Leeds fans all around us making the early dash downstairs for half-time as Ramsey heads it forward for Cardiff. Ayling will guide a header back towards Meslier. But Leeds made the better start to the game, but from the moment Josh Bowler scored the opening goal for Cardiff, they have been the more effective team by far, and the second from Mike Ugbo, another player making his debut on loan, has really rocked Leeds back. But here is Nonto coming forward on this near side, but he's closed down by Wintle, and the final touch was off Nonto, and it will be a goal kick, although Nonto is quick to complain to the assistant on this near side, Matt Jones.
Yeah, he's annoyed. Again, I think he's frustrated as well. At first he looked like he was getting on the ball, he was in pockets, running in behind, getting decent service, and now he's feeding off scraps. And all of this forward line, they're not really hurting, they're not disrupting this Cardiff defence, have not been able to get any quality. And whereas Cardiff, when they have gone forward, they've got bodies there and they've picked up good passes and look a real threat. So yeah, I just feel Leeds, when they went behind, how would they respond? I don't think they've responded well at all.
Well, Ellen Road is often an atmospheric, raucous venue, but at the moment there was just that low rumble of discontent all around the ground as they've given the ball away again. Clipped over the top by McGuinness. Ugbo in pursuit. Meslier leaves his penalty area to hammer the ball downfield, but McGuinness will guide it back at the other end to Jack Anick, who's had one really difficult save to make and no more than that.
Yeah, from 20 yards, he moved his feet well, didn't he? And he got good two hands to it. But yeah, apart from that, I can't think of even though they got in positions, no, he's not had a big save to make.
Somerville now coming forward for Leeds, goes down on the edge of the penalty. The coach down again, thinks he should have a penalty. Is quickly challenged by Adams. Daniel Farke is stood there, arms outstretched, but Josh Smith gives nothing.
And there's no VAR for them, so yeah, you have to get on with it. And now there's the half-time and the boos. I think that's a bit of the referee, a bit of frustrations, but yeah, the referee was adamant and waved it away.
Well, welcome back to the Championship for Leeds United. Cardiff City here, leading by 2-0. And they have counter-attacked superbly, Matt Murray, and Leeds have had no answer.
I think the game plan's been absolutely spot on. They know that Leeds are going to have a lot of the ball. They know the crowd's going to be behind them. It's a pitch that they make big with their full-backs pushing on high, tricky players coming in pockets. But what they've done, Cardiff City, is they've worked hard. They've got bodies behind the ball. They've been organised. They've pressed as a unit. And when they have gone forward, they've gone forward with real quality, bodies in the box, made good decisions, and they've been clinical. And they've scored 2 very, very good goals, restricted Leeds to few clear-cut chances. And at this moment in time, this Cardiff City side, their fans and everyone else will be absolutely delighted with this first 45 minutes football.
Half-time here at Ellen Road. It's Leeds United 0, Cardiff City 2. For second half commentary of this one, join myself and Matt Murray on Talksport 2. But now on Talksport, Adrian Durham will bring you the build-up from Wembley as Arsenal face Manchester City in the Community Shield. But Matt Murray here at Ellen Road in the Championship. Leeds United will always feel they need a fast start to try and build some confidence after what happened last season. And it's very early days, 45 minutes, but they've not had it.
Yeah, it's early days, but I thought they started okay. You could see the game plan of Cardiff, what they were looking to do, but Leeds, it looked a bit of a threat. I thought Nonso looked good, getting in behind. But just when you thought they were starting to build, then they got hit. I think his sucker punch was that way, bam, and it knocked the stuffing out of them. And it really is difficult because young Archie Gray, he was just getting on the ball, breaking lines with a few passes, but they've been finished with such a difficult end to last season. They really was troubled. A lot of change. There was so much optimism, but yeah, Cardiff have come. They've done a right job on them, and it's quieting these fans down. You know, with the stand opposite us, the top tiers open. It's full. It's a sellout. But Cardiff, the more and more it's gone on, especially when they got the goal, and they can feel the discontent from the fans. You can see they've grown. And Ramsey was getting caught on the ball a bit at first. He's been more and more influential, and even though they lost rules, which they lost their captain, Ebro Adams has come on, and Cardiff have been excellent. But as for Leeds, they're going to have to change it up because at the moment it's too predictable. They're not able to break this Cardiff City side down, and I'm sure Daniel Farke will be getting into his side at half time.
And we can see Eddie Gray walking in front of us, a Leeds United legend. His great nephew Archie Gray has been one of the few plus points for Leeds. Yeah,
and he's a young man, but it says a lot, doesn't it? At 17 years of age, he's the one getting on the ball and trying to make things happen. He's taking most of the set plays. I thought that the moment that they had when he forced the ball through into Somerville, who slipped in Nonso, and good defending from Cardiff. I think him and Ampadu have been decent, and I still like to see Ampadu maybe use the ball a little bit better. But yeah, I think Archie Gray has been the standout player for Leeds. But you can see what Cardiff is saying. They're saying, right, no problem. You're going to put your full-backs high. We're going to be organised. We're going to show you outside. We'll give you the wide areas, and we'll protect and get our first contacts on the crosses. So I think Leeds' biggest threat was when they had that little bit of link-up play with their sharp players. But all in all, they found it hard. So Cardiff, you have to credit them. We said how much it's difficult times for them, if you like, and all the off-pitch problems they've had. But at this moment in time, they've worked hard, they've been organised, and when they've needed to, they've showed real quality and composure.
Thanks to Matt Murray. More from him coming up on the second half here on Talksport 2 at Ellen Road, where the home crowd at the moment are shocked. Cardiff City leading Leeds United by 2-0. This is EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Every motion and total devotion. This is Talksport 2. Put the pedal to the metal and turn on Talksport 2 for On Track, the only dedicated motorsport show on UK radio. It's your weekly pit stop of expert opinion and dynamic double-declutch debate, previewing all the upcoming races and bringing you the latest breaking news from across the global grids. Make sure you stay on track every Tuesday afternoon from 4 on Talksport 2 with Formula E,
the world's first all-electric racing series. Check out FIAFormulaE.com for where to watch.
Righty here for Gillette. Have I got something for you? The Gillette Labs razor has a unique exfoliating bar that clears the path before the blades for effortless shaving in one stroke, leaving you fresh and ready to take on your day in no time. And at Gillette, we promise you that Gillette Labs is the ultimate shave, or, I've always wanted to say this, your money back. Gillette, the best a man can get. 18 plus, retain receipt, terms and conditions apply.
Ooh, Mackie D's. Give us a fry.
Help yourself.
Wait, what?
Have one, Dad.
They were free.
Free fries, how?
Signed up for rewards on the McDonald's app.
McDonald's have a reward scheme.
Yes, and an app is a thing you get on your phone and when you download it.
Okay, thank you. I might have another one for that.
My McDonald's Rewards. Sign up on the McDonald's app and get free fries and 1,000 points when you place your first order. 18 plus. Only via app of participating restaurants. Register by the 16th of August and order within 14 days. Minimum spend required. Terms apply.
At Lidl, we're big on a British summer. And what could be more British than adding a little class to sitting on the grass? With Rosé Prosecco for $6.99, deluxe antipasti platters for $2.49, and tucking into a GHI-approved deluxe quiche for only $2.99. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores excludes NI.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sky Sports proudly presents the most thrilling tournaments and spectacular sporting events the world has ever known. The electrifying US Open Tennis, the remarkable Ryder Cup, the phenomenal Formula One, the captivating Cricket World Cup, the exhilarating EFL, the wondrous Women's Super League, and the one and only Premier League. All sports for an extra £22 a month. Sky Sports, the greatest show on earth.
Offer ends 25th September. Requires Sky TV. See sky.com for details. Further terms apply.
The Women's World Cup show with Faye Carruthers on Talksport 2.
This is the biggest Women's World Cup ever.
Expert analysis, speculation and opinion from some of the biggest names in the global game.
The quality in this tournament has been amazing.
Grab yourself some goals. The Women's World Cup show with Faye Carruthers tomorrow night from 6 on Talksport 2, the home of women's football. Get in.
The Monday Club on Talksport 2.
A broadcasting juggernaut of sport.
Honestly, it's a whole different conversation.
Professional analysis.
He was at the very peak of his powers.
Yeah.
He's the master of dark arts.
And refreshingly frank opinion after all the action.
I don't rate him at all.
I think he's useless.
The Monday Club. The sharpest minds in the business.
That is unbelievable.
Tomorrow afternoon from 5.
On Talksport 2.
Pushing the apex of live football.
What a ball!
No one does football quite like this.
He hits it first time, what a volley, what a goal!
EFL Game Day Live.
On Talksport
2. And a roar of anticipation here at Ellen Road on the opening day of a new season. The disappointments of 10 weeks ago must now be cast aside for Leeds United as they look to bounce back. Ayling with the ball into the penalty area, Nolta with the volley, and Anik was nowhere there, but it was inches wide.
Oh, brilliant play, and now this crowd, they're sensing it.
O'Dowda now, released by Rawls for Cardiff down the left-hand side. 2-8 for the pullback, it's back to Bowler with the shot, blocked by Ampadu. Bowler again, and he scored! Josh Bowler with a debut goal for Cardiff City. His first shot was blocked, but he was calmness personified to stroke in the rebound, and Ellen Road has been silenced. Josh Bowler, who was on the ball now down the Cardiff right, scoring the only goal, and he's worked a 1-2 with Wintle, and he breaks into the penalty area. Here is Ramsey with a right-footed shot. It's deflected across the face of goal, and it's turned in by Ugbo, and Cardiff City lead by 2-0.
Brilliant from Cardiff City. They've been top draw, but no one ever thought it was going to be easy for Leeds, and this has certainly showed them how difficult this championship is.
So Cardiff City stunning Ellen Road, leading Leeds United by 2-0 at half-time. And when we're done here, we'll bring you live commentary from the Stadium of Light as Sunderland, who reached the playoffs last season, host newly promoted Ipswich Town. It should be a cracker, and your commentary team for that one, the former Sunderland and England defender Mickey Gray. And we say good afternoon to Adam Bridge.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nigel. Hi, up in the stands here at the Stadium of Light. A new season dawns, and a new season of anticipation maybe for Sunderland. Of course, promoted from League One the season before last, and just missing out in those playoffs last time round as semi-finalist, losing out to Coventry City, who obviously went on... Sorry, not to Coventry City, losing out to Luton, who obviously went on to get promoted in the end. Opposition today, Ipswich. So much excitement about them making a return from League One into the Championship. So much so, they are fifth favourites to try and get promotion to the Premier League. I'm not sure where that comes from. Maybe the man alongside me can shed some light on it. Mickey Gray, of course, Sunderland legend here. Over 360 appearances for the club. Treated like a god, kisses and all, upon arrival here at the Stadium of Light today. Mickey, the start of a new season, I mean, we're already seeing some extraordinary scorelines, particularly that one at half-time between Leeds and Cardiff. It's so difficult on the opening day to gauge how things are going to pan out, isn't it?
Well, it is afternoon to everybody here, but I think what you can do, Adam, is set out your stall and set it out early and send a message straight away to everybody in the Championship, as Ipswich Town will be hoping to do today at the Stadium of Light. You know, is it a possibility that they can get back-to-back promotions from League One straight out of the Championship, because they score goals. They're an entertaining side to watch. They've got a lot of pace and they play with enthusiasm, and I think that comes from Kieran McKenna, who's just brought something different to this Ipswich Town side. And Tony Mowbray, there's no question, has got to watch out for the quality that they've got. And I think Tony's been frustrated in the transfer market himself. He obviously knows the importance in getting off to a good start. Look, this stadium is going to be full to the rafters today, and there's no better place to get your first win of the season.
There isn't. You talk about Tony's frustrations. He mentioned in his press conference in the last couple of days that this club is buying for the future. They're buying youngsters that are going to mature and probably get sold on for an exorbitant fee at some point. Whereas, although he doesn't agree with it, he'll deal with it. The only new face of kind of stature and experience that he's brought in is Bradley Dack on a free from Blackburn. Is that walking a fine line if he fundamentally doesn't agree with the policy and things don't quite go as he would like them to?
Well, there's no question about it. Tony's obviously frustrated because he knows that the squad needs some experienced players. I think that was maybe the downfall at the end of last season when we did get into the playoffs to play against Luton Town, because when we played them away from home, we had no fit centre-halves, and it was a big problem because they just threw everything into the box. They knew how to play against Sunderland, albeit they've got so many technically gifted players. But I think the downfall was that lack of experience. But I think you have to be on the same page of recruitment-wise. They know what's happening at the football club. Tony knows that. He's been told that. He's sticking around. I think everybody wants him to stick around, but you still want to try and build on the success from last season.
And it was a surprising success last season, which kind of shocked me that everyone's talking about Ipswich in the manner that they are. I know they were terrific in League One. Still only finished second, and we know they've got a great coach. Can they achieve the unthinkable and take this division by storm?
Well, there's no reason why they can't do it. I think, even myself and you were just having a brief conversation before we come on air. If you can find a centre forward, which they've got in Hurst, who can get 15, 20 goals in the Championship, you give yourself every chance of getting promotion or getting it somewhere around about those player positions. I was just looking at the fan zones just before and saying, if Ipswich finish in the top half of the table, I think they'll do that comfortably. I really do, because I think the way that they're set up, they're organised, the young enthusiastic players, as we mentioned before, in those forward positions. And if they get on a roll like they did at the end of last season, 19 games unbeaten, they can go a long way in this division.
Stadium of Light will be packed to the rafters. The kick-off is 5 o'clock. Can't wait for Sunderland against Ipswich Town here on Talksport 2. And that's after you're finished with what promises to be an amazing second half at Ellen Road, Nigel.
Well, it should be, thanks to Adam Bridge and Mickey Gray at the Stadium of Light. From one footballing cathedral to another here at Ellen Road, where Cardiff City lead Leeds United by 2-0. Of course, they were 2 goals up at half-time against Leeds in the FA Cup third round at home last season. Leeds came back very late in that one. Sonny Perkins, who was on the bench today, came on and scored an equaliser right at the end, and they won the replay here 5-2. But at the moment, we mentioned at the start of the game, Matt, that Leeds are not playing with a recognised striker, and they've got some very talented players up there, but they've maybe got 3 or 4 players all looking to do the same job.
Yeah, very similar, and they can't mix it up. Whereas you look at the Cardiff bench, and they can bring the likes of Kiana Tete on, maybe, who can still give them that focal point and get them up the pitch. Whereas for Leeds, that'll be something maybe that Daniel Farke's saying, well, look, this is all I've got. Bamford, he's had a lot of injuries for Leeds United. If I don't have a player of that ilk, what am I meant to do? You need to go in that market. We're a huge club, and you need to get me someone like that. And there's nothing worse for managers when they look at the bench and think, I can't change it. There's nothing I can do. And as for Cardiff, they're going, brilliant. This is excellent. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Then we're going to counter-attack. And yeah, they are very similar, sort of diminutive players, all dribblers that want to get in there. Somerville, James, Nonto. And at the moment, he's playing into Cardiff's hands. Leeds can't change it. They are getting on the ball, but they need some more quality. They need to move. I felt when they were getting in those pockets and maybe just speeding up the tempo a little, that's when they caused Cardiff problems, and then Nonto spinning behind. But at the moment, Cardiff haven't really been troubled, restricted them to a lot of shots from distance. But I can't see, unless they try and put a centre half up there later and build off him. But they don't want to be doing that. That's not how Leeds play. That's not how Farke plays. So yeah,
not on the opening day of the season.
Exactly. It just feels yeah, that's the sort of thing you do in the last minute, isn't it? You might put a big centre half up there and hit him and build off him if you're going for it. But yeah, I'm looking at that bench. Paveda, he's another dribbler, isn't he? Like, there's no one on that bench that you're looking at.
Gelhardt's possibly the only one.
Yeah, but he's still not massive. But yeah, he can link it. He's a bit more of a bull, and he can link play a bit. But yeah, I think that's something that Leeds United will need to be looking at, and should a club of this size should be looking and thinking, right, I can get someone in and who can do that, because that's ultimately what is going to get you out of this league. Someone who gives you that real threat and scores goals, as Bamford had done for this club before, but he's had such a tough time with injury.
Well, the Leeds players are in the tunnel waiting to re-emerge for the second half here, and I'm sure they will get a rousing welcome from the home crowd, but they didn't exactly turn on them during the first half. But the moment that Cardiff scored, it was almost like a balloon being very quickly deflated.
Yeah, they've been frustrating. I thought that was the same in the Premier League, though. There's lots of games in the Premier League where Leeds started well, had good opportunities, didn't get the goal, then they conceded, and I think they looked a bit fragile, that confidence. And I understand why the Leeds fans have been frustrated a little bit with the referee, a little bit with Cardiff just breaking the play up. Players maybe for Leeds, just, there's a time when James got in, I thought playing Ayling or Somerville, and he slashed a shot from 20-odd yards. So yeah, there's an expectant crowd, but Leeds have to lift them now. But I tell you what, Cardiff will be thinking, right, we are going to expect the Alamo here. We've got to sit in, we've got to really be organised, we've got to get our blocks in, not give them anything, because when Leeds are attacking that big end behind the goal, I know what it's like when you stood in that goal and you can feel them trying to suck the ball in, and if they get one, like you called it in the FA Cup, that happened, Leeds will really believe they can get that momentum and kick on. So it's good for Cardiff that they've got 2 goals, but it's Cardiff will no way be thinking that this game is won, that it's done. And but yeah, Leeds will have to start this half well.
But there has been a change made by Leeds at half-time. Sam Byram, who is back at Elland Road, began here as a youngster and is re-signed, having spent time under Daniel Farker at Norwich City. Only re-signed yesterday on a 1-year contract, having been released at Carrow Road. He has come on, and it's Leo Hjelde who has gone off, who did have 1 or 2 issues down the right-hand side with Josh Bowler in the first half.
Yeah, I thought Bowler was a real threat, wasn't he? He was excellent for Cardiff. That's where the goals came from. Byron will be someone that Farker will know well from his Norwich days. He'll also know this club well, but yeah, Byron will be having to, you still expect to be giving him more of an attacking outlet, but he has to still also do that defensive side well, and it was a good learning for young Hjelde at fullback, but Byron's very experienced at this level.
Second half underway here at Elland Road on Talksport 2. Leeds 0, Cardiff 2. Leeds and all white attacking the Revy stand away to our left-hand side at the start of the second half. And the ball breaks down for Leeds straight away, but they do have a throw-in just in front of Errol Bullitt, who will be delighted with the way his team have started this game and started the season so far. 2 goals up. The Leeds team again. Meslier in goal. The back 4 is now Ayling, Cooper, Strike and Byram. Ampadu and Gray in midfield. James and Sinisterra in the wide areas. Somerville and Nonto are the players looking to lead the attack. The Cardiff team is Anakin in goal. The back 4 is Unji, McGuinness and Gutas, with O'Dowda down the left-hand side. 3 in midfield, Wintle, Ramsey and Adams, who came on for Rawls, who was injured in the first half. Bowler, Grant and Ugbo are the players who are in attack, and it's Bowler and Ugbo who have scored the 2 goals so far. O'Dowda looking to come forward now on the far side for Cardiff there, left-hand side, but it's quickly won back, and here is Nonto for Leeds. He flicks the ball in field, but Adams was challenged and fouled by Somerville, and it will be a free kick for Cardiff.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting how long players will play in this game, because Ramsey, again, will he be able to last the 90? Or when I was at the game yesterday, a lot of players were coming off around, a few changes were made, so around the hour mark, the 70-minute mark, because the players hadn't had loads and loads of time in pre-season. And I think, again, for Cardiff, they'll have to use their bench well to keep the energy levels up, the freshness. As for Leeds, they've already made 1 change, but again, they'll be looking to try and, if things aren't happening, make their changes too. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game pans out.
Poked forward by Ampadu to find Somerville for Leeds. He's challenged from behind by Ramsey, and Ramsey quickly holds his hands up to complain, but a free kick's been given to Leeds on the edge of the centre circle in a central area. Cooper will take it quickly to find Strike. And now it's worked wide by Byram towards James again. And Sam Byram, now 29 years of age, but he almost feels like a youngster still, because he was a very young player here at Leeds when he played a lot of football, moved on to West Ham and then Norwich, and had so many injuries.
Yeah, they produced a lot of players, didn't they, Leeds? There were a lot of players coming through. Is that Mowat era as well? Sort of Alex Mowat coming through?
Yeah. Here is Ayling now, down the right-hand side on the overlap. Low ball into the penalty area, and lunging in with a brave challenge was Mark McGuinness to send the ball spiralling into the Revy stand for a corner.
Good play from Leeds, good link-up play, good dangerous ball. But McGuinness, you can see why he's gone out on that loan spell. Started at Arsenal, came here, had some loan spells. His position
Sheffield Wednesday last season, wasn't it?
I think it was a big blow for them when they recalled him, but he's been excellent, Mark McGuinness. Good positioning again.
Corner kick, which Somerville will take. Drifted high into the penalty area. Cooper's header, and Leeds are back in the game thanks to the captain, Liam Cooper, who leapt bravely, and he's injured having scored the goal, but it's a much needed goal for Leeds United, and Cardiff's lead has been trimmed to 2-1.
So we talked how would they start, and set pieces in the first half, set piece after set piece. Cardiff were protected. One, Cooper had got a first contact on that came to nothing, but this time he's out swinging from Somerville. Cooper wants it most, 6-7 yards out. He's hurt himself in the process. I'm not sure about that when he lands, but yeah, he gets the run on. I think it's on Gutas. He wants it most, heads it down. Nothing that Anik can do. Great start from Leeds, but is it his foot he's holding? What? He looks in a lot of pain, because this would be massive goal, big moment. But this could be a huge blow. His ankle, his foot, because he is key. You said he's been a talisman for this club. You know, he's been at Leeds a long time. He's a captain.
9 years now.
Yeah, he's had the promotions, the relegation. But it doesn't look good when he's landing, because he's not the sort of player, is he, to stay down, especially when you score like that as well. So, worrying moment, but great start for Leeds to the half. Big moment. How do Leeds now, build from this? How do Cardiff respond? But yeah,
Charlie Creswell is warming up, player who was out on loan at Millwall last season.
Signed a new contract, didn't he, Creswell? And but it's just when he comes down, Cooper lands awkwardly. Great header, by the way. Great header from him.
Thundered in above Gutas, and maybe just caught his studs in the turf as he landed.
Yeah, it's not looking. So both teams have lost their captains, have they? If Cooper comes off, that is. But it makes you always feel old when you got the likes of Archie Gray playing, Creswell coming on, and when you used to play against their dads.
Yeah, Richard Creswell, of course.
Yeah, good centre forward.
Leeds among his clubs, Preston as well.
Yeah, it's not looking good, that.
No, and he's down behind the goal, still receiving treatment, and Creswell will be coming on here. So Joe Rawls off injured for Cardiff in the first half, replaced by Ebu Adams. And Charlie Creswell, who was part of the England under-21 squad, which won their European Championship during the summer, he will be coming on, and the stretcher has been called here for Liam Cooper.
Achilles, would it be, maybe, if he...
Well, if he caught his studs on the turf as he landed, and of course he's a big guy coming from a big height. We'll have to wait and see.
And it's these sort of things as well, isn't it, that, Nigel, that affect what clubs have to do in a window. Suddenly, if you lose, if he is out for a long time, suddenly that might mean now they've got to go into the transfer window for another centre-back, and they'll be wanting to get Creswell on quickly. Looks like Ampadu's filled in at centre-back. He's played in that position in his career before. But a big moment, massive goal.
Yeah. Christensen and Rocket all going out on loan after relegation as well. Leeds spent £115 million on 7 players, and at the moment they've got £3 million back. That was the money for Rodrigo, and all the other players have been put out on loan following relegation to get them off the wage bill. Now Byram for Leeds down this near side. Sinistera is challenged by Ramsey. Leeds 1, Cardiff 2 here. 6 minutes into the second half on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL, with Sunderland against Ipswich coming up at 5 o'clock. But Leeds now back in the game. James down the left-hand side in towards Nonto. Picks his way through the penalty. Brilliant run from him. It's blocked. And then it skips off the top of the crossbar. And he got something on it. And everybody watched him in slow motion loop up and clip the top of the crossbar and go behind for a corner.
But what good play from Leeds again. Even though these Cardiff bodies are back behind the ball, that's what Nonto does so well, doesn't he? When he drives into defence, he twists, he turns, and it does well. And then as a goalkeeper, you know you've made that touch, you know the ball's bounced down. Is it going to go over the bar, or are you going to hear that roar? Just goes over. But now it's another corner. The atmosphere's up. They're going to have to defend this one better, Cardiff. So yeah, Leeds have really got the tails up, got the momentum. Must have been some team talk from Farker.
Liam Cooper being stretched off around the edge of the pitch as the corner's taken into the near post, looking for Byram. Cardiff don't clear, and it's Ayling with a volley at the far post, and it's high into the Revy stand.
Yeah, again, good pressure. These quality of these corners, they've all been out swinging. They've been much better deliveries. Cardiff haven't been able to clear their lines. Difficult chance there for Ayling. And look, Leeds have got a full press ready to go. Be interesting to see if Cardiff try and play or say get on the pitch. I'm not surprised Jack Hannock has made that decision to boot it, because Leeds have all the momentum at the moment.
But it did not look good there for Liam Cooper, being carried around the pitch, head in hands. And when you see players like that on a stretcher, it's not good anyway, but his reaction suggests it could be serious.
And players like Liam Cooper, because you know they're warriors, and they only, for him to leave on the stretcher, for him to be like that, he is really definitely hurting, because he's a tough guy, he's a great competitor, loves this club, brilliant career. So you hope it's not as serious as it looks, but yeah, when he leaves in that manner, it doesn't look good.
Byram now for Leeds, fighting Gray, but Gray has lost out, and here is Ramsey for Cardiff, turning neatly, and he's got support on his outside from Grant, who has barely seen the ball so far since half-time. And now Ampadu wins it back from Grant and strides clear for Leeds, but his ball in field is cut out by Wintle. Grant again this time is fouled in the centre circle by Sinistera, and it will be a free kick for Cardiff, and they will be looking to manage the clock here at every opportunity.
Yeah, just try and take the sting out of it. They'll know, and so it's about game management, and that's when the likes of Ramsey just need to get on the ball, tick it over, speak to his players. Wintle again, these more experienced sort of Cardiff players, get on the ball, because at the moment Leeds are really in the ascendancy, and you feel that when you're on the pitch. Honestly, you feel it as players, thinking, come on man, let's try and take the sting out of this.
Now Ryan Wintle, who signed a new contract during the summer, plays it forward for Ramsey, but he just treads on the ball, and Ayling wins it back, and now Ampadu plays it all the way back to the edge of the Leeds penalty area, and Creswell, and it's a very young central defensive partnership now, Pascal Strike and Charlie Creswell. And Sam Byram is the senior man in that back four, alongside Luke Ayling in the wide areas, and they will need to show some leadership now.
Yeah, they do, and they'll keep this tempo up. That's what they need to do, because they'll believe if they certainly get another one soon, they're going to win this game.
And Somerville there was on the move and almost scooted in behind Callum O'Dowda, and O'Dowda very deliberately, as the ball spins out of play for a Cardiff throw-in, is off the pitch doing up his bootlaces.
All gets added on now though, doesn't it? But again, I'm not surprised he's doing that.
55 minutes played here at Ellen Road on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL. Sunderland against Ipswich kicking off at 5 o'clock with Adam Bridge and Mickey Gray, but it's Leeds 1, Cardiff 2 here. Liam Cooper getting Leeds back in the game, but going off injured, and now a shot driven in for Cardiff City from the edge of the penalty area from Ike Ugbo, and it was played through, and Leeds were wide open there from one ball played forward inside the Cardiff half. Ugbo was in behind Strike, but the shot lacked composure.
Yeah, it's a difficult chance, but that is the warning to Leeds. You said it's a young centre-half partnership, and you can't just stand there and admire and think, oh yeah, we're on top, we're doing, playing really well here, because that one pass took out the whole defence, and Ugbo will be disappointed if he feel that, Strike's under pressure of him, but composure, that's a word. If he gets in there and he either twists up the man or really works hard to get that shot on target, he's just inside the box, a little bit off centre, should be hitting the target there, and that is a good chance for Cardiff, and again with their game plan would have been perfect.
A reminder, Leicester coming from behind to beat Coventry 2-1 in the first championship commentary of the day on the Talksport network. 2 late goals from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. And coming up this week on Tuesday And Wednesday, we are around the grounds on the Talksport network in the Carabao Cup first round. Gillingham against Southampton is the commentary on Talksport 2 on Tuesday, and it's Wimbledon against Coventry on Wednesday. And then tomorrow morning, 8:30, the round of 16 at the Women's World Cup, England against Nigeria with Joe Shannon and the former Tottenham captain Jenna Scalacci, as Leeds are flagged offside once again on this near side.
And Byram's saying, give me the ball quick, and I wouldn't have been offside. But again, he can look along the whole line. And with Byram, he's playing on the left here, but he's all right foot, isn't he? Right foot, right foot, right foot. So it'll be interesting how he does, because he keeps wanting to come inside and use that and not giving as much natural balance. But again, it was good play from Leeds, but just a little bit slow getting the ball, and easy offside in the end.
Ramsey looks to flick the long clearance downfield from Anik on, but now McGuinness over the top. Ramsey with another touch, but it's cut out by the chest of strike. And here is Somerville for Leeds United, all the way back towards Meslier, who has barely had a touch in the second half. 58 minutes played. Leeds 1, Cardiff 2 on Talksport 2 on the opening weekend of the Championship.
Meslier will be thinking, how have I picked the ball out of my net twice? Because he hasn't had much to do, has he, at all? Apart from he's conceded a couple of goals, but I can't. There's a one-time strike slipped and he smothered the ball, but all in all, he's not had a lot to do. He's been virtual spectator. Yeah, he's conceded twice. For that save from Anik was big when Nonto went through. But it's really, really finely poised.
Creswell charging forward now, looks to release Ayling on this near side, but it's O'Dowda who makes the challenge, and yet again, Leeds are flagged offside.
They are, and I think, in my opinion, I thought he was. I thought he'd gone just that little bit too early. Yeah, again, he is.
He's offside.
Yeah, he's definitely off. And he's arguing and he's complaining with the linesman. It's a really good line from Cardiff. If you do get that slightly wrong, then it's dangerous. But Luke Ayling is offside there. There's no arguing about it. So, and you thought as well, with some of these lads who have played regularly in the Premier League, because it's such fine lines, they're usually a bit more cautious to it, where he was well off there in my opinion. So really good defending from Leeds, from Cardiff, but I think that's poor from Leeds. They shouldn't be offside there.
Here is Somerville, once again wearing gloves in August. Ayling on the far side looks to pick out Sinisterra, and the two Feyenoord players involved there, former Feyenoord players, but it will be a throw into Leeds in the end as Cardiff clear. And Carlin Grant is doing so much of his work deep inside his own half now, but that's the game for Cardiff, looking to hold on to this 2-1 lead on Talksport 2 with an hour played. James down the line, left-hand side for Nonto, driven across, but McGuinness is there again to sweep the ball away, and it will be a throw into Leeds by the corner flag on this near side.
Yeah, really good position again, and at least when players are shown outside, it makes the play predictable. Good defending, good clearance. But I think Leeds, again, some good combinations. But we've seen what Cardiff can do in these moments. They can suddenly hit them with a sucker punch.
Byram finding Nonto all the way back towards Creswell, who is the last man for Leeds, but he's very comfortable on the ball. But having said that, he's given the ball away to Grant. And now the flick on from Ramsey. O'Dowda looked to sprint clear down the right-hand side. Looked to knock the ball beyond Ayling and use his pace, but went the wrong side. It's out of play. Had he gone the other side, he would have had plenty of green grass ahead of him.
Yeah, they've been right in, been away. And I'm just looking at the clock now. It's getting around that hour mark. Leeds are having to play. You're just thinking Cardiff are struggling to get out. Ugbo looks quite tired. I wonder if they're going to, look to that bench. You see Robinson warming up down there, Keon Atete. Maybe someone like that, just to give Cardiff a bit more of an outlet.
Well, it's been all Leeds in this second half, as Creswell, who came on for the goal scorer Cooper, plays it into the penalty area. Sinisterra shows too much of that to Adams. Adams working hard on his Cardiff League debut, but he's given the ball away. It was played back in field, but Leeds still have it deep inside the penalty area, and in the end, Ayling now plays it back towards Ampadu, lined up for the shot, cuts back onto his right foot. Archie Gray finding Ayling again. The cross in is blocked, appeals for handball as it struck the back of Adams. That would have been very, very harsh. Bowler tries to bring it clear, but it's crowded out by a combination of Byram and Ampadu, and Leeds keep the pressure on here. Creswell wide to the far side, and Ayling. Somerville quickly involved for Leeds again. He's given the room to turn. Gray makes the run forward, then has to check to stay onside, and in the end that blue wall of Cardiff shirts manages to scramble the ball clear. But it's Ampadu again, finding Gray, and Gray watched Ayling go offside and then come back onside again, so he couldn't give the ball to him. But now Nonto And once again, it's all those little balls down the side for Leeds, and they don't quite come off. And Cardiff clear. Ugbo on the halfway line, all alone, almost uses the support of Wintle. And then Gray was being held back by Ugbo, but he's strong enough to shake him off, and Leeds have the ball once again.
The fans are loving watching this Gray on the ball, I tell you.
And Gray finds Somerville now, breaking towards the edge of the penalty area. The low cross in, looking for James, but it's cut out well by Anik.
Nonto's going to be disappointed there, but who's been at the heart of everything? Young Archie Gray wins the ball back. Should it have been a foul, yes or no? He doesn't care. Then he gets on the ball again, finds that pass. And I think Nonto there, a player of his quality, he should be picking out James at the back post. So I think, and there's Archie Gray again getting on the ball. The fans are loving him, giving him a round of applause, and just wave after wave, isn't it, of Leeds attack. And they've got to make this count soon, but they've been very good.
62 minutes played. Leeds 1, Cardiff 2. The Community Shield about to get underway over on Talksport. Manchester City against Arsenal. Now James finding Somerville on the edge of the penalty area, shifting to his right again, and he's played it infield towards Nonto, back towards Gray. Leeds here are queuing up, and it's Ampadu who fires in the right-footed shot, which is blocked. It rebounds out to Ugbo, who was all on his own for Cardiff. No one near him, midway inside his own half. They're so deep.
Yeah, it's a difficult role for Ugbo. That's why I'm just thinking Robinson and Tete, someone like that, just make a change for Cardiff.
Now Nonto, it breaks back to him on the edge of the penalty area. Somerville was almost in, but McGuinness is just happy to hoof the ball away on this near side, and it will be a Leeds throw-in, and there will be movement on the Cardiff bench very soon. Strike back towards Ampadu, and it will be another Cardiff debut. Yaku Mete, the former Reading player, will be coming on. Adams, though, working hard, does well to win it back for Cardiff, lofts it high over the top. It will be a foot race between Creswell and Ugbo. Ugbo drags Creswell to the ground, and it will be a free kick to Leeds on the edge of their own penalty area. But Cardiff will get the opportunity to make the change here.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, because it's really hard for these forwards, whether it's Grant, Ugbo, they're working tirelessly without the ball, and it's Grant that's coming off, and I'm not surprised they made that change, but they just need that outlet, and also it just breaks the play up a little bit. So I thought the change would be coming around this time, but Leeds, it's like attack versus defence, isn't it, those training drills?
Yaku Mete scored plenty of goals for Reading a few years ago, but then had a nasty injury and has never quite been the same since. Scored 4 times last season as Reading were relegated, finishing below Cardiff due to their points deduction. On the field, at least, Cardiff were relegated last season, but in the final league table they finished just above the safety line.
Yeah, and it's, again, with how clubs have been ran, and it's a shame.
It's fair enough. If you don't do things properly, you deserve to be punished.
You do. But Cardiff, obviously, they've been skating on thin ice as well. The fact that they're in the embargoes, and they've been right down there, and they've got to, again, sort it out, because otherwise you do go down, and it's hard enough getting out of the Championship back into the Prem, but it's very hard, as you've seen with a lot of big clubs. Sheffield United took them a long time, didn't it, to get back out of League One. So, yeah, they've lucky escape for Cardiff it was.
Here is Sinisterra, infield towards James, left-hand side of the penalty area. Great shot from him, but an even better save from Anik, who got down well superbly to his left to turn the ball behind for a corner.
Yes, really good goalkeeping. He's made a couple of good saves now, because that's curling in the bottom corner, right-footed turn low. But he's done so well because he's dived forward. If he dives flat or back, he doesn't get there. He dives forward and cuts off the angle. Fantastic save from Anik.
Somerville with the corner for Leeds at the Revy stand end. Swirled high towards the far post. Creswell challenging forward. It breaks to Creswell, but the shot is blocked, and then leaning back, Byram hammers the ball high over the top.
More pressure though from Leeds United, and they wanted to, Nonto's wanted to get the ball back in play here now, because they just want to keep it going. But I thought that was excellent play from James, and the way Anik's just stayed back in his goal, and then he's attacked it forward with that left hand just to get that touch on it round the post. Then when the ball's dropping in, I just feel that every corner that's coming in from Leeds at the moment looks a real threat. It looks dangerous. First half, Cardiff dealt with a lot of them. This half, every ball coming in, Leeds look very, very good.
66 minutes played here on Talksport 2 at Ellen Road. It is Leeds United 1, Cardiff City 2. On the opening weekend of the Championship on the home of the EFL, we still have Sunderland against Ipswich to come at 5 o'clock with Adam Bridge and Mickey Gray. Tomorrow morning, Joe Shannon and Jenna Scalacci will be alongside Faker Others to bring you the round of 16 game from the World Cup. England against Nigeria. The USA knocked out by Sweden on penalties earlier today. as Ampadu is fouled on this near side by Ramsey, and there's a ruffle of the hair from Ramsey for his Welsh teammate, but it will be a free kick for Leeds deep inside their own territory.
And I think with Leeds, like we talked a lot, they haven't got Bamford, they haven't got that focal point. What I do think they're doing now is they're moving the ball a lot quicker. The players are coming off the lines, they're linking up, they're being more direct and dribbling. And I think it's just the ball speed. That's what's hurting Cardiff.
James now at full pace on the left-hand side, but he's closed down by Ng, but it breaks back to Sinisterra. Infield to Gray. Gray with a quick ball to release Somerville on the edge of the penalty area. Ayling now in space down the right. Low ball across. James must score. He does. But the flag is raised for offside, and it won't count. And it's Luke Ayling making that move too soon yet again.
Yeah, if he's offside now, I'd be so disappointed. Yeah,
miles offside.
Yeah. What? And again, it's good from Cardiff, but he doesn't need to go. He doesn't. And he's looking across, but you're off, Luke. And he's a really experienced player, good player. But he can hold that run. Should the ball be released a little bit earlier? But there's so much margin for error. He doesn't need to go early. Then he rolls the ball across. So I was thinking, surely James wasn't offside. But yeah, Luke Ayling is offside. Massive escape there. But that's when Leeds are shifting the ball quickly, when they're moving it, that's what's hurting Cardiff. But shouldn't be offside. There's been too many times now that he's done that, and he'll be very disappointed to play with his experience and his quality.
But if you're a Cardiff fan, and we've all been there as away supporters, you just stood there thinking they're going to score.
Yeah. Oh, they've got the absolute momentum. And if that had counted, then you're saying there's going to be only one winner. But that's why I feel maybe they need to make even more changes. But at this moment in time, Leeds will keep doing this, and it only looks like one side's going to go on and get the next goal.
68 minutes played. Leeds 1, Cardiff 2 here on Talksport 2. Coming up at 5 o'clock from the Stadium of Light, we have Sunderland against Ipswich. Headline team news from Adam Bridge.
19-year-old Benfica youth striker Lewis Emir makes his senior football debut for Sunderland. Other new arrival Joe Bellingham, Jude's 17-year-old brother, also starts. As for Ipswich, Nathan Broadhead and Massimo Luongo have passed fitness tests, but ever-present keeper Christian Walton misses out through injury.
Thanks, Adam. Commentary alongside Mickey Gray from him at 5 o'clock here on Talksport 2. And don't forget our new EFL review programme, EFL All Access, 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Talksport 2 with Hugh Wozencroft and Sam Parkin, and that will also be available as a podcast. Byram now for Leeds on this near side will take on Meite. Meite with an untidy challenge, and it's a free kick for Leeds a couple of yards from the byline down the left-hand side, and the first yellow card of the day for Yaku Meite, which is probably for dissent rather than the challenge.
Yeah, but he's definitely a foul. But to be fair to Byram, he's holding Meite's arm as well. But when you dive in like that, Meite's approach is too quick. He's gone. He's not put the brakes on quick enough, which allowed Byron to skip past him. Once you go past him in that position and you go down, it's only ever going to be one outcome. And now another set piece, danger position, lots of pressure. Yeah, they are really knocking at this door, Leeds.
And the free kick will be whipped in by Somerville. Down the left-hand side into the 6-yard area, travels a long way to Creswell. The ball rebounds off his knee, and it's sliced high and behind by Ng at the far post, and it will be a corner kick to Leeds.
Yeah, I think he sort of sees it late, Creswell, and it just comes off his knee, and if he'd have been able to get that under control, touch, bang, from 7-8 yards out, it would have been really difficult for the goalkeeper. But again, more pressure, another corner, and I just feel like Somerville's saying, he's trying to lift these fans, because every corner, outswinger, Leeds are looking a real threat. They've already got one goal, and they'll be looking for a second now.
19 minutes to play. Somerville with the corner again into the near post strike, tries to flick the ball on, it breaks to Byram, who was falling away as he tried to volley under pressure, and it's over the top. And Cardiff have weathered a storm here for a long time in the second half.
Yeah, but you just feel, don't you, it's only a matter of time, because they just cannot get out. I mean, the possession, territory, everything has been, the XG really for Leeds is going to be high, and they're just pushing all the way, and they'll feel if they can get that second, they'll go on and win this.
71% possession, 16 shots, 5 on target. Cardiff have had 5 shots, 2 on target, they're 2 goals.
Yeah, well, that's a bit you want, isn't it? 2-1, but
that's all that matters.
It is, but there'll be lots of positives from Leeds that they've got that early goal, they've kept pushing, they're playing some good stuff. Gray looks top draw in that midfield, but they should have really equalised by now if they hadn't been for some needless offsides.
Somerville on the edge of the penalty area. Sinisterra is square. Looks to play a 1-2 as Somerville, who goes down. And again, Josh Smith, the referee, not interested. James will try and win it back, but stooping in to head clear is McGuinness. And now Mate, rather playing Ng under pressure there. And he kicks the ball away. James is claiming that there should be a further sanction, but it's only a throw-in for Leeds. 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side. Now Somerville. Back again towards strike. And square to Creswell, who came on for the Leeds captain Liam Cooper, who was injured in the act of scoring the goal which brought them back into the game straight after half-time. And Daniel Farker has the best win percentage of any championship manager who's played at least 100 games, but decided losing this one. Of course, he was a dominant coach with Norwich on 2 occasions. Now Somerville looks to play it wide to the far side for Ayling, but it's cut out by O'Dowda, but one back again by Ayling. And now an opportunity for Nonto to turn. The Nonto plays a good ball forward, but on the stretch, Sinisterra goes down. He was challenged, but I think that was good defending. And it's gathered by Anik, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, again, O'Dowda, the ball was played through, definitely onside Sinisterra, but O'Dowda just does enough to recover. He goes with the run, and I think lovely play from Nonto, but Sinisterra does not argue, does he? He's not complaining. He knows that wasn't a penalty.
He wasn't offside, but remarkably, Ayling was again inside the penalty area. Had the ball gone to him, there wouldn't have been a chance.
Yeah, very true. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, fullback getting up there, but how? Yeah, he's
the oldest player in the team.
No, I can't talk. He saves all his onside goals for against Wolves, doesn't he? And then does a Robbie Keane celebration.
I think his last goal was against Wolves, wasn't it?
Oh, we scored a few against them here last few seasons.
Now O'Dowda, a rare attack for Cardiff as they maybe ponder more changes. Errol Bullitt talking to his backroom team at the moment. Ng, a rare foray forward from right back for him in the second half. 16 minutes to play. Cardiff still lead here by 2-1 on Talksport 2. Leeds have utterly dominated the second half, but only have 1 goal. Here is Ramsey again. Ramsey losing out to Ampadu and James now brings it forward on this near side for Leeds again. And G could be isolated here, but he has help from Wintle. Now Nonto takes foot over for Leeds, scoots towards the byline, low cross in, but McGuinness, who's had an excellent game, manages to scramble the ball away. And Adams just knocks it high up to the halfway line. Mate looking to hold off the challenge of Byram. The Cardiff bench want a free kick, but nothing is given. Somerville finding Ayling again, and now Ampadu wide towards Nonto, left hand side of the penalty area. Nonto coming in field, nutmegs one, challenged by Ramsey, goes down, no penalty. At the other end now, Strike will gather ahead of Ugbo and play it back towards Melly. I think Ugbo's struggling as well here.
Yeah, and he's worked hard, and it's a really difficult role to play. He's a lone striker. He's chasing lost causes. He had that one opportunity. He's got the goal in the first half, one opportunity in the second half. And that's where, again, you need to go to the bench and get those fresh legs on and try and get him up the pitch.
Somerville finding Sinisterra in that channel just outside the Cardiff penalty area where so much of the ball has been in the second half. Now Byram wide towards the left-hand side, and James with the right foot curler once again. It is McGuinness who is in the way to lunge and block. But here is Gray for Leeds, who I think is a contender for their player of the match. I think McGuinness probably man of the match overall so far.
Yeah, both have been outstanding. Both pretty young players as well, with some big futures, and you'd imagine both of them you will see grace in the Premier League at some time.
I think there could be a triple change here for Cardiff coming up. But here is Somerville breaking into the penalty area. Low shot from him is inches wide. This time Anik was beaten, but it took a deflection on the way through. But Leeds are denied again as they begin to run out of time.
Yeah, again, jinking through, and it's good play, and that's what Somerville's so good when he drives into the box and just takes that little nick, is it, off Wintle just to go wide. And I do think Anik had it covered, but it did look a bit different the way it's gone past that far post. But again, they're just moving the ball, shifting Cardiff, and making them do a lot of work side to side, moving the ball well, getting in one-on-one positions, and yet another corner that's going to have to be defended.
Aaron Ramsey's return to Cardiff City is coming to an end after 77 minutes, to be replaced by the Leeds-born player. Andy Rinomota. And Keon Atete and Marlon Romeo will also be coming on. I think Ike Ugbo has made up his mind to come off because he's already heading across to this near side before his number's been shown. And Perry NG is the other player who will make way.
Is he cramping up as well, NG? Looks like a few players that were, but you saw Ramsey's socks coming down, didn't you? He'd taken them down, and look, he'd put in a right shift, he'd worked hard, but I'm not surprised to see these changes about this time.
Well, thumbs up from him towards the Cardiff fans. Of course, Ramsey was involved in the second goal. His shot deflected across the face of goal for Ike Ugbo to jab the ball in almost on the goal line. Somerville with a corner kick again for Leeds, and it was a header wide from Creswell. It was a difficult header because he was running away from goal and had to try and generate the power and direction and found neither.
Yeah, and it's not often that you see substitutions like that at a corner, though, is it? On a defensive corner, because people usually have their jobs and stuff, but it shows you that, you know, lads they're out on their feet really, and I think it is always hard. A lot of players will say this, outfield lads, that these first few games of the season are tough, and these Leeds players, the Cardiff players, are putting have to do a lot of work without the ball.
Well, they go to Colchester on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup first round, and they're at home to Queen's Park Rangers next week.
Oh, what a bad start there, QPR. And does Shrewsbury come here against Leeds?
Shrewsbury come here as Atete looks to try and slide a ball into the penalty area for Cardiff, but runs it out of play, so it will be a goal kick. Yeah, Leeds are at home to Shrewsbury here in the Carabao, and then they're away to Birmingham.
So the games come thick and fast, don't they? And I still feel that a lot of these squads in the Championship will look very different come 1st of September. I do. I think there's still quite a lot to...
In terms of the injuries, Leeds certainly will.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler Adams, will he still be here in September?
Is he linked to Chelsea, is it?
Well, he does have a buyout clause of £20 million apparently following relegation, which is what he cost when he came from Leipzig, but he's not played since March in that win at Wolves.
Do you have to mention that?
Sorry. Well, Leeds always tend to beat Wolves. They beat them on the opening day of last season here, but a very different scene here in a very different division.
Yep.
With 10.5 minutes to play, Leeds 1, Cardiff 2.
Yeah, and it's gonna... Will Cardiff be able to get another opportunity on the counter-attack as Leeds commit more and more bodies forward? Or will Leeds be able to get an opportunity? And as I say, I really believe if they could go and get that other goal now, because there's still going to be a lot of stoppage time. We're just getting to around the 80-minute mark, but it'll probably be 8 to 10 minutes maybe on top of that with all the substitutions and stoppages.
Now James down the Leeds left-hand side, 9 minutes to play. James with the cross in, looking for Sinisterra, and Wintle is able to pick up the loose ball very calmly on the edge of the penalty area and play it wide to Josh Bowler, who has barely had a kick in the second half, but he scored the opening goal. Now Rinomota, he turns into trouble, and it's cleared away by Ayling. Infield by Nonto, and now James again, finding Nonto down the right. Nonto was irresistible when Leeds beat Cardiff here 5-2 in the FA Cup last season, but a different story so far here today. And Leeds are queuing up on the edge of the penalty area. James gathers, jabs it wide towards Sinisterra, and Leeds looking to move forward here almost at walking pace as Sinisterra tries to go beyond Bowler, runs it out of play, and it will be a goal kick. And Leeds have just lost that intensity they had for so long in the second half.
Yeah, I feel that when they were moving that ball quickly, those little bits of magic happening, Cardiff just didn't know what to do. They didn't have the answers, but now it feels like it's gone a little bit to how the first half finished, where Cardiff, even though they're letting Leeds have a lot of the ball, they're not really getting hurt. They feel that they've still got an element of control, even though they haven't got the ball.
2 changes now for Leeds. Joe Gelhardt will finally be coming on, and Ian Poveda will also be heading onto the field of play. The former Manchester City youngster who was on loan at Blackpool last season, and Gelhardt ended the season on loan at Sunderland, where he was very popular. Dan James makes way for Poveda, and Gelhardt is the only thing that Leeds have approximating a striker at the moment. He comes on for Wilfred Nonto.
Yeah, and he'll be desperate to prove a point. You know, he started at Wigan. He was highly rated. Everyone wanted him. We've seen some moments in the Premier League that he's had, and say the loan spell. But he'll know he can score goals. He can be a threat at this level. But he'll want to show Daniel Farke, I can start. You know, I can be a regular in this side.
And Jorginho Ruta, who cost £35 million from Hoffenheim in January, is currently out injured. And Patrick Bamford is in a similar state, watching here today from the sidelines. And Sinistera comes forward now for Leeds. Gelhardt playing as the central striker. Somerville wriggles away from the challenge of Adams, who then had a second nibble at him on the edge of the penalty area. The play continues. Here is Poveda looking for Ayling. I think Leeds would have taken the free kick there, but in the end Gelhardt losing out to Gutas, and it's played high up towards the halfway line, and Atete does well to hold it up, and Bowler will find Rinomhota, who's not known for his blistering pace, but he's done well to carry the ball deep into the Leeds half, and eventually, though, he fouls Poveda, and it will be a free kick.
Interesting that I felt Somerville had his heels clipped, and if it had gone down, or I think the referee was going to give it, we played the advantage, and yeah, I do think they would have preferred to have the free kick. What would have been 20-25 yards from goal central? But again, that's when I think Leeds look the biggest threat. When they get in the pocket, they turn and they drive at people, and they move, just that speed, that urgency injected into the attack.
7 minutes to play. Leeds 1, Cardiff 2 here on Talksport 2. We have Sunderland against Ipswich coming up at 5 o'clock. Leicester beating Coventry in the midday kickoff. We have 3 big games from the Championship across the Talksport network here today. Still 0-0 over on Talksport between Arsenal and Manchester City. Download the Talksport app, and you can swipe between the 2 stations and the 2 commentaries currently underway. But it has been attack against defence from the moment Liam Cooper rose to head Leeds back into the game straight after half-time. But Cardiff at the moment are standing firm, and Errol Bullitt will be learning a good deal about, if nothing else, the togetherness of his players.
Yeah, and some of the things these players, they can't control. They can't control all this off-field stuff, these embargoes and everything else. And when a lot of lone players come in, sometimes how does that look? But when they work hard and they come to a place like this, and the pre-season work they've done all pays off, that's how you start to get belief.
Well, Ampadu has gone down now. He claims he was fouled by Atete, and Errol Bullitt was quick to wave away any prospect of a decision going in Leeds' favour, which it didn't anyway.
The ref's let quite a lot go, hasn't he? I think he's been consistent both ways. There have been a few challenges. The one where Ibu Adams in the box, he wanted a foul, no, play on. Archie Gray had one, nothing was given there. And there with Ampadu, again, he's fine. I think there was one when Ugbo went down, so I think the referee has let play go on quite a lot.
Now Byron for Leeds, back towards strike inside his own penalty area. We can hear the Cardiff fans away to our right-hand side in good voice at the moment, with 5 minutes to play, and their team leading here by 2-1, but it's been a long old second half for them.
It has, but they will also, as much as they love the quality of the goals, they'll love the fight from their team.
Adams now wins it back on the halfway line, and it's been clipped by Gray, who did a lovely little swivel to evade a couple of Cardiff players a moment earlier, then gave the ball away and fouled Adams, and Cardiff here will have the opportunity to just manage the clock, although on 1 or 2 occasions I've seen the more experienced players looking to hurry their teammates up, because they know now that every single second will be added on.
It's definitely playing on the player's mind, this multi-ball, everything else. Then it is a lot harder now to run the clock down, and that kick, I think that's really good goalkeeping from Anik. He's kicked with an angle a bit like rugby, knowing that Byram's then had to stretch, gives the the throw in now to Cardiff, and gets them right up the pitch, a long way from that Cardiff goal. But it's mad as well, don't you think? You read the record again. How come Cardiff just always do?
They always seem to do well here. Yeah. They came from 3 down to draw the last time they played here when Leeds were promoted under Bielsa. Romeo with a high ball in, headed down by Atete, actually outside the penalty area, and it's O'Dowda who fires in the shot, and it's sliced away by Strike. Ayling should be able to keep the ball in play, and he does so by the corner flag on the far side. If it stays like this, it will be 8 wins, 4 draws and 1 defeat at Ellen Road for Cardiff. Now Poveda plays it forward, looking for Somerville on the edge of the penalty area for Leeds, but it's Smothered by Cardiff once again. O'Dowda with the high ball forward. Atete leaping with Creswell. Doesn't win the header though. Keon Atete, signed from Spurs for £500,000 last season, did well in the lower divisions on loan at Northampton and Cheltenham, but has found it difficult at times with the step up on a permanent basis. Now Poveda. Square to Ampadu. Strike, and Leeds are going sideways and backwards at the moment, but now Sinisterra will try and add some pace down the left-hand side. Byram takes over. Somerville. Byram continues the run and just jabs the ball off Romeo, and it spins behind for a throw into Leeds by the corner flag on this near side with 2.5 minutes of normal time to play. Good challenge from Adams, who's done well since coming on to Rob Byram, but his clearance only finds Strike. And here is Creswell. Back towards Strike again. Sinisterra. Infield to Gelhardt. Somerville inside the penalty area, challenged by McGuinness, but he rides down, heads to the byline, goes down, looking for the penalty, and the referee says goal kick. And Josh Adams has made some brave decisions here today.
And I think correct decisions. I feel the first ones are coming together. McGuinness does well. Then when he goes in, there's nothing really there for me on Somerville. I don't think it's a foul. He's getting stretched out for cramp now, and I think the player knows it. He's not really argued. The fans, of course, are going to appeal for it. But there's been some really, really top performance. I think every player has put in, as I say, a shift. They've worked really hard. They're giving their all. There's been quality. There's been hard work. But it's very common now at this stage of this, with the first game of the season, that players are cramping up. But Somerville, correct decision. Not a foul, not a penalty. I think the referee, I think he's had a good game. I think he's let it flow. I think he's been consistent. And but good defending again. I think McGuinness has been outstanding for Cardiff.
Probably the man of the match for the number of blocks he's made and headers he's won.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. And
alongside a player who's never played in the Championship before, Demetrius Goukas.
I think he's grown into it, do you? I think that he got first a few runs, Nonto off him, and a few decisions, but again, you don't get a much better test than coming here.
But it's a patched up team for Cardiff, under a transfer embargo, of course, and at the moment they are inching towards a notable victory, very notable victory. But here is Ayling now, down the left-hand side, early cross in, looking for Gelhardt. McGuinness is there again, just to rise and glance the ball away into the fullback area. Meite is back defending, nodded down by Byram. Ampadu will get there before Atete and plays it wide to Creswell, and the Leeds crowd find their voices. One or two leaving early here, but the vast bulk of them are staying behind their team. Poveda down the right-hand side, comes in field up towards the edge of the penalty area, and he's got support from Gray. Gray looking to wriggle away from a challenge, but O'Dowda, who's also had a very good game out of position, does well to win it back for Cardiff and find Bowler. Now Atete back again towards Wintle, who just hammers it long downfield. 6 added minutes here. Leeds are about to make another change. Sonny Perkins, who scored a very late equaliser against Cardiff in the FA Cup last season, will be coming on. Leeds here pushing hard with Poveda, cuts in field. The shot though deflects off Bowler, his Blackpool teammate last season. Headed away as far as Strike, who finds Somerville on this near side. Back towards Strike again. Errol Bullitt is sprinting up and down his technical area to try and organise his team here, who have been very organised for so much of this game. Cardiff lead 2-1, a minute into added time at the end of this game on Talksport 2. Sunderland against Ipswich coming up at 5 o'clock. Over on Talksport it is the Community Shield between Manchester City and Arsenal. Now Somerville finding Sinisterra once again. Sinisterra plays it square. Wintle is there to cut it out, but he's robbed by Gelhardt. Ayling wide to the far side for Poveda. White shirts queuing up inside the penalty area. Poveda delivers the cross in. Romeo leaps to head the ball clear, but it's one back. Somerville now inside the penalty area, driven outside the penalty area by Romeo. Ampadu now, it's so congested for Leeds on the edge of the box. They play it wide to Poveda. Poveda drifting away from Dowda, not once but twice, but Dowda sticks with him, and it's cleared away by Wintle, but Cardiff can't get the ball out, and now they do. just hammered long downfield by Bowler, deep inside the Leeds United half.
Yeah, lots of pressure from Leeds, but again, good defending. They are giving everything, Cardiff. And, Leeds are going again, but Leeds will believe. Can they get one more chance? Poveda looks a real threat down this right.
And he's on the ball again now, taking on O'Dowda. The crossing is deflected on the stretch. Wintle hooks the ball away. Now Poveda. Losing out to Bowler. Bowler does well to ride the challenge of Ayling, and Cardiff here can maybe break. He plays it forward in the general direction of Atete, but he was fouled there by Gray. And it will be a free kick for Cardiff, which is just what they need.
For you've mentioned O'Dowda playing at left back against these tricky wingers. He's been excellent. His positioning, his 1v1 defending. Then I feel that Bowler's got back and helped him as well. I think the wide men for Cardiff have done a lot defensively. A really good play from Bowler to win the free kick. So I just feel that for Cardiff, Bullock should be so proud of his team.
Standing ovation for Archie Gray as he comes off and Sonny Perkins comes on. And many Leeds fans gave him the standing ovation and then left.
They'll be disappointed that their team look like they're gonna lose, but at the same time they've witnessed a really good mature performance, and I think, are they singing his name?
Well, they should be.
Good. He's been brilliant, really good. I'm very
17
excited.
years of age.
On this platform as well, by the way, he's been brilliant.
One or two challenges coming in, which the referee allows to go from both sides there, and in the end, Byram, under pressure from Atete, just hammers the ball out of play. It skims off the top of the Cardiff technical area, or the dugout rather, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff. And we have played nearly 4 of the 6 added minutes here, and they still lead by 2-1. What a victory this would be. We've talked a lot about Leeds, but for Cardiff, this could be a real springboard.
It'll be huge boost, confidence, belief to come in. A great start, really difficult start to the league.
Ayling now coming forward for Leeds on the far side, looking for Gelhardt. O'Dowda though just steps in. Block challenge, it's out of play. It will be a throw-in, taken quickly by Ayling. Back again towards Ampadu. Smattering of applause from the main stand as Gray makes his way around to the technical area, and there's a handshake from Daniel Farker, who quickly turns his attention back to the field of play. Sinistera now down the left-hand side for Leeds. Byron makes the run in support. It's back to Ampadu. Now Sinistera twisting away from one challenge, fires in the shot. There are about 4 players who block it, and then it's hammered in by Somerville, and Leeds have equalised in the 5th minute. And there is bedlam here at Ellen Road. The Cardiff City players cannot believe it, but Crescencio Somerville has rescued a point for Leeds right at the very end. This a game which has epitomised the championship, and it's Leeds 2, Cardiff 2.
Yeah, and they'll still have a few more minutes to go back, but this is what it's all about. Everyone, they love this league because it's just never over, and they kept pressing. They would believe that one more chance would come, and for Cardiff, you feel for them, they're all lay on the floor, feel like a defeat for them, but for Leeds, wow, what a moment. And they're getting bodies in the box, and Cardiff are there's this wall, and it's Sinistera hits McGuinness, drops back, but Somerville, he's going like away from goal, and to wrap his foot round it with his right foot and fire that into the bottom corner. Anniku's made some brilliant saves, he stands no chance. But you have to say, yes, it's cruel, it will feel cruel for Cardiff, but Leeds, they've kept pushing, and let's see what happens now. They've had a little bit more time on, so still a bit more drama maybe, Nigel.
Well, Somerville whipped his shirt off in the act of celebration, so he got a yellow card for that, but it's his first goal since last November. But now Atete for Cardiff on this near side, only Mate inside the penalty area. He's joined by Bowler, but his shot was blocked by Ampadu, and Cardiff with their first sight of goal for about an hour. And now Leeds charging forward again, pumped high, looking for Poveda, who's about 4'6", and it's cleared away by Gutas, and it's a free kick for Cardiff as Bowler was fouled on the far side.
And it'll feel so hard for Cardiff because they've worked tirelessly. They've been putting their bodies on the line, getting their blocks in, and it did ricochet around. But when you keep getting your shots off, you get bodies there, and it gives a chance that it will drop. But really good finish. Loads of these Leeds fans, yes, some had left, but there's still plenty that have stayed behind to
never leave early.
Yeah, but how many would do though? And and they've stayed and they've willed their team on, and it's just the way all the Cardiff players just lay on the floor. They're mixtures of emotions.
Well, they put so much in. It's only the first day, but this will feel like a defeat.
Yep.
Although, as you say, overall, a draw would be a fair result. We're into the 8th minute of added time now. Cardiff looking to attack with Rinamotor on this near side, but he's challenged by Ampadu, who does well to avoid conceding a corner, hammers it down the line, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff. Well, at the start of play, they would have taken a point, but not at half-time when they were 2 goals up. Romeo with a throw into the penalty area. It bounces through towards Meslier, and that is it. Leeds rescue a point in the 5th minute of added time, thanks to Crescencio Somerville. And Cardiff City, who were 2 goals up at half-time, hung on for virtually the whole of the second half, leading by 2 goals to 1. They must have thought they were nearly there, but in the Championship it is very dangerous to take anything for granted, and it's finished Leeds United 2, Cardiff City 2. Matt Murray.
Oh wow, I mean, real drama, and it never disappoints you, this league, and it started off hopefully how this season is going to continue. And if Leeds needed any reminders, it's not going to be easy here. Last time in the Championship they were fantastic at home. They know that teams are going to come here, set up, be organised, look to counter-attack, frustrate them. But I think you have to just credit every single player that's been out there, because they've worked so hard, they show quality. Leeds look like, I felt the goal came against a run of play for Cardiff. Leeds having the territory, having the play, but real good quality on the counter-attack, and the composure from O'Dowda to pick out Bowler. He bounced back to him, second bite the cherry, excellent finish. Then again, Leeds looking okay, maybe struggled a little bit, but good quality, and the ball whipped across. Ugbo fantastic at the back post to tap home. But then it was all about what was going to be said at half-time. How was the reaction going to be? Could Leeds respond? Big blow losing Cooper. When they got that goal to get back into them, but that was a massive moment. And first half set pieces weren't great for Leeds. Second half they looked a threat all the time, kept going, and then right at the end they got their rewards to keep pushing, keep pressing. And I do feel, with the way the game plans were, probably a fair result. But right now those Cardiff players will be absolutely distraught in there, because they've got so close to what would have been a huge 3 points.
But it's clear for Leeds, they need a centre forward.
Yeah, I think so, because as much as Nonto and Somerville, they kept pushing and they were twisting and turning and doing all their stuff. There were spells where it was a little bit one-dimensional, and Cardiff were dealing with it well. So they will look and think, if they did have that focal point, like an equivalent of a Bamford, could they offer something different? But this is a team Barker's got at the moment. They stuck to the game plan. They kept working it. Some disappointing offsides. I think they got into some good positions, and Ayling especially was offside when he didn't need to be. But you can see that the fullbacks are going to be a big outlet. But it wouldn't surprise me if there are a few changes between now and the end of the window. One of the things that I feel that Leeds will be looking for is definitely a centre forward, maybe a centre half now, depending on Cooper. Archie Gray, outstanding. McGuinness for Cardiff, outstanding. I thought Anik made some good saves. So both teams.
What about Aaron Ramsey?
I thought Ramsey again. He played that big part, didn't he, in the second goal when he twisted and he turned. I thought he actually grew into the game. Gave the ball away a little bit at first, and they're going to need him the way he'll get on the ball and show that composure, that experience. But how many minutes? And he went off around, 70-minute mark. He went off. But yeah, Ramsey, look, he showed that quality. He was good, and the fans love him, the players love him. But this is again, I think for Errol Bullock, he will look and think, how will my team going to look? I'm coming into English football, and they worked really, really hard for him, and there was a clear game plan. They were well coached, but in the end they couldn't quite hold on. But I do feel it was a fair result.